with qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
If you're an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits and the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
Hello, Discover here. To explain our cash back match. Here's how it works. We give you cash back for using your Discover card on the things you were going to buy anyway. Then we match that cash back in your first year. And that's why we call it Cash Back Match. Now to recap and say cash back one more time. We match all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year automatically. Discover. Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply.
This message is for homeowners 62 and older. Are you one of the many that watched as their home nearly doubled in value over the last 2 years? Sure, the increased value feels great, but what is it really doing for you? Would you like additional monthly income that is tax-free? Maybe you would like to stop making your current mortgage payment altogether. This is where a reverse mortgage comes in. It is the best way for seniors 62 and older to tap into their home equity and get additional monthly income tax-free. Now you could benefit from all the appreciation in your home without having to sell and move somewhere else. This is all possible with a reverse mortgage. Find out how Desert Equity Lending is one of the Valley's local experts in reverse mortgages. Call 602-509-3000. That's 602-509-3000. Don't wait any longer to get your reverse mortgage questions answered today. Call 602-509-3000.
AZMB-0906989. NMLS 173369. Terms and conditions apply.
Call 602-509-3000. When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Wednesday here on the Daily Blender. Oh, yeah, Wednesday. Because you know why I know it's Wednesday? I had to pause and think about it, but you know why I know it's Wednesday? Because last night was Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. I actually got tacos on Taco Tuesday.
What?
Congratulations. I know. Oh, that's great. My wife, being of Latina background, she doesn't like to do things just because other people say that they should do them. And so when I say, hey, how about some Taco Tuesday? She says, how about some Taco Saturday? And I'm like, all right, that sounds good to me. I'm not going to tell her how to do things. I'm just happy to get the food, right? And so last night, we actually had Taco Tuesday. So that was how, A, I'm happy. B, I know today's Wednesday. It's the Daily Blender here, and I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room. You guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And already, here comes Big George. I'm not looking at his text yet, but I'm gonna guess the Diamondbacks dropping the last couple of games to the Dodgers, currently in the top of the 6, down by 3 to the Dodgers. It's not looking good. I'm gonna guess in this text when I open it, something about firing Torey Lovello will be inside.
No, I would have to debate with you. I bet when you open that text, he'll be blaming me, as he was calling me earlier today on the Twitterverse, calling me Eeyore.
No, it's fair.
Just because I talked about the Diamondbacks and the reality, this team is not very good.
It wasn't the reality that you present. We all know the reality.
Mm-hmm.
You were pretty down. You were down about the Suns, and then
well,
you were furthermore
down. That's my team.
About the Diamondbacks. And I'm not. Get to take it easy. You have every right to feel that way. Yeah. But then
it's not like I'm a Yankee fan and they're in first place in the AL right now.
They don't hear each other. They only hear us. And so when they hear you sounding this way, usually a guy who's so super positive about the Cardinals and be a big fan of the sports here in Arizona, they're going to notice, Randy. I'm just saying. And so,
I don't think it's any reason for Big George to call me Eeyore.
Well, I actually did. I was the first one. I said that the other day.
No, you were.
And I think he was just taking that and running with it. Because you did sound a little Eeyore-ish that day. Now, since I think you're cheering up a bit. I think, you're doing better now, aren't you? Feeling a little better?
I don't know. I mean, it's baseball season. Suns are out of it. It's going to be July before the Cardinals actually do anything.
Yeah. Training camp is coming.
Till then, Coyotes are not playing.
You're not going to be sad sack this entire time, are you?
No, I'm not sad sack. No, I just have nothing really to cheer. I don't have nothing to just get all fired up about. I will tell you, I am getting fired up about the biggest day of the year. Everybody else's Christmas Day. No, this is the biggest day of the year for me. Race Day is coming. Race Day 2022. It's about 2 weeks away. Memorial Day weekend. Of course, you guys know not to bother me. My phone will be off. I won't answer any calls, emergency or otherwise. It is race day from 5 o'clock in the morning. I watch the Formula One cars race in Monaco.
Right.
At 8 o'clock in the morning, I go to Indianapolis. I have a little breakfast as I watch the Indy 500.
That will be here on 1580 The Fanatic.
And then I'll take a little break, and then I will watch the Coca-Cola 600 about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That is my day.
Also will be on 1580 The Fanatic.
As my entire day is that. Kimberly, she doesn't bother me. As a matter of fact, she'll sit and watch a little bit with me. But there's no running around the house. There's no phone calls. There's no grandkids. Papa gets to sit and watch racing.
Ass
one day
planted, beer in hand, clear shot to the TV, clear shot to the bathroom. That's all he asks for on that day.
I had one request when I asked Kim to marry me, and that was just give me a race day. And she has been she takes really good care of me anyway, but she's been very good to me on race day. So for the upcoming here couple of weeks, it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of activity happening up there. And
there you go.
So
something to look forward to.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
How about you, Keon? What do you have to look forward to? You're a Washington fan, so probably very little. But what are you looking forward to here in sports between now and NFL season?
Oh, a lot of stuff. I mean, look, being a Washington fan, I get fired up about a good offseason. So I'm excited to see what the Wizards are going to do in the draft. Seriously, draft season I love it. It makes me happy because it's that one time a year where you're like, okay, we might do something good and maybe turn our fortunes in a different direction. So yeah, I buy into it. So I'm excited about the NBA draft now that the lottery's done, and we can see what direction the team's going to go in now. And I think our general manager's done a pretty decent job so far. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited still about watching the NBA finals, hoping that the Warriors punch Luka in the face. And I don't mean that figuratively. I mean that literally.
Well, Draymond's probably going to do a lot of guarding Luka. Draymond might actually punch Luka in the face.
I think that there is a good chance. So, beyond that, I like all the stuff that's happening. I don't know. I just want to shed the negativity. You know what I mean? I'm bummed. I am. And listen, I went, oh God, how many years after the Suns in 93 lost that game of the Bulls, I had to turn it off for quite a few years because I just couldn't. I was so invested that year. It hit me in the nuts so hard when that happened. It took me a long time to recover. So I understand the feeling. But here's the thing right now, there's always next year. And a lot of, teams, that's been their mantra. There's always next year. In fact, I believe the Washington Commandos, they start saying that first game of the season. There's always next year.
That is not true.
Wow.
That is not true. The NFC East is terrible. We don't say that until week 9.
I'm in week 9. Yeah. So, I'm going to take a line from my son, Sergeant White. When I die, I want all the major Arizona sports teams to be pallbearers so they can let me down one last time.
Fair enough.
Every damn one of them. Yeah.
Fair enough. And, listen, I'm an Arizona sports fan too, except for, the Colts. That's my football team because there was no Cardinals when I became a fan of the Colts. And I decided to stay that way, especially when you found out that Bill Bidwell was a tightwad. Michael Bidwell has opened up the wallet and made some things happen, but Bill Bidwell, horrific tightwad back in the day. So I abstained from the Cardinals and I stuck with my Colts. So, we all got our story. We all got our thing, but back to Big George's first text. All right. So Randy, you say it's going to be blaming you for your negativity. I'm going to say fire Torey Lovello is going to be in there. How about you, Keon? What are you going to go with?
I tend to agree with the fire Torey Lovello. As I have been on this show, Big George is most of the time, whenever a team is struggling in Arizona, Big George's call to fire whoever is in charge. It's been pretty consistent. So I'm going to go with
find out. I'm clicking. Hello, gentlemen. Happy hump day. Thanks a lot, Randy, for jinxing the Diamondbacks with your Eeyore attitude yesterday. Now the Diamondbacks are about to get swept by the Dodgers. Wow, we were both wrong, Keon. You went right at the Eeyore jugular right there. So,
and I don't see how I was Eeyore. I don't understand. I'll have to listen to the podcast. I don't see that I was that negative. I mean, the facts are facts. The Diamondbacks couldn't hit their way out of a wet paper bag. I mean, they're horrible at the dish. They don't know how to hit. They have a horrible hitting offensive team. They're just miserable. They're terrible. And I don't understand why that's negative. I'm just speaking truth.
I'm just busy over here trying to imagine actually being trapped inside of a wet paper bag and trying to hit my way out.
It might actually be harder than it seems at first.
I'm just imagining it. I mean, that's.
I was looking the stats up before we went on the air. The Diamondbacks, out of 15 teams in the National League, are number 14 in hitting. In the entire league, I think they're number 22 in hitting. That's only 6 from the bottom.
They're not worst. Okay, something.
All right.
I'm just saying.
They're number 22. They hit better than the Blue Jays, the Red Sox, the A's, the White Sox, Kansas City Royals, the Orioles, the Pirates, and the Detroit Tigers. You know who hits better than the Arizona Diamondbacks? Who scores more runs?
Everyone else.
The damn Cincinnati Reds. The worst team in baseball.
Okay. The Nationals hit better than the Diamondbacks too, but they can't pitch it all, so they still lose lots and lots.
Yeah. So just hitting, pitching. Look at the combined thing. Where are the Diamondbacks right now in the standings in general? Don't talk to me about anything but the overall.
Half game above the Rockies, fourth place in the National League West.
Give me the full standings. What place are they?
They are 29th in batting average.
No. Just
what do you want? I don't understand.
Standing in the actual standings. Where are they? Here,
they are 5th in the National League.
Oh gosh, God, no.
I don't understand.
No, that's the standing. The standings are divided: American League and National League.
I'm not dividing. They are currently still right there in the middle of the standing. If you go to standings and hit overall, they are right in the middle.
Well, okay, but what's important, I think, is the National League standings, where they're 5th, and that's middle of the National League.
I'm trying to give you a silver lining. I am trying to stay away from that.
I am trying to help you, Jeffrey.
How dare you come at me with reality,
Jeffrey? I'm trying to help you. They're the middle of the National League. That's good.
Fifth. Yeah, fifth of what?
The fifth. They are record-wise 5th in the National League.
I'm not talking about record-wise.
I'm talking about Giants, Cardinals, Rockies.
But hold on, how do I find that?
Diamondbacks
League division,
which still puts them ahead of the Marlins, Phillies, Braves.
You are incorrect.
Pirates, Nationals.
They are not
Reds.
5th in the National League. They are actually 6th, 7th, 8th in the National League. They're in 8th place in the National League.
What metric are you guys using?
I'm looking at.
I'm just looking at wins and losses.
I'm looking at standings right now.
Oh, you're just looking at wins and losses.
Straight up standings, National League, 18 wins, 20 losses, and that shows the Diamondbacks right below the Rockies and right ahead of the Marlins. So that's the standings in the National League. In the overall league,
wait, how's that
right in the middle?
How's that 8?
Because I'm looking at here it is from the top down. National League: Dodgers, Padres, Mets, Brewers, Giants, Cardinals, Rockies, then Diamondbacks. So
I'm trying to figure out where the Dodgers are on the CBS.
Well, I'm just talking. I'm just talking about the fact that I brought up their hitting is terrible, and they are in all of baseball. They are 29th as far as batting average goes. 29th.
George's next text says Torey Lovullo should have been fired last year, along with Hazen. So my opinion on that has never changed. But I'm right there with you, Randy. Jagdog says, hey, Jeffrey, Keon Randusky, happy Whiskey Wednesday. Randy, can I get a crown on the rocks? And can we talk NFL today? We are going to talk some NFL later today. Yes.
How about that? Little NFL, and there's your crown, my friend.
Cause says, you can always get excited for the Rattlers. Yes, you can. It's a fun game every time you go there live. That's a team that's winning. And, let's see if they can get over the hump and get that championship this year.
I need to get with the number one Rattlers fan, and I need to take Miss Kim and go to a Rattlers game and do it right with the number one Rattlers fan.
I figure if you're going to go, you should go with the number one Rattlers fan.
Right, because he can give me all the insights. He can give me all the things to look for. He can help me and Miss Kim out. And I bet Miss Kim, she would get excited about
Keon has been there. You should go too, because he'll tell you right now that's a hell of a lot of fun.
Well, back in the day, I worked a little TV. I worked a couple of Rattlers game in the truck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not the same. You got to be in the room. You got to be in the arena.
And we had some pretty good seats. I mean, it's lively. It's packed, which I don't know what I expected, but it was absolutely packed, and it's a show, man. It's a great show. I love it.
Berg says, afternoon, guys. Go Diamondbacks. Boomer Sooner says, hey, good afternoon, guys. Missed a little bit of the show. I might have already talked about the Pac-12. Dude, we're only 13 minutes in. You're lucky if we've talked about a thing by this time in the show. We are going to talk about what you're talking about a little bit later on, so we will get back around to you on that, okay? FedFan says, I caught a podcast called Phoenix Sports, and they were talking about DeAndre Ayton was happening to the Suns, and then she says she wants me to read some tweets from somebody from New Jersey. I'm a little confused by this. I'm going to have to read this during a break so I can follow what you're really getting on about there. Han Jolo says Taco Saturdays are better than Taco Tuesdays. I make some mean smoked pulled pork cheesy tacos.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I've never had those.
Soft
or crunch?
I'll have to. Well, you can either way. You just get the taco shells of your desire, and what you got to do is get some of that pulled pork. Smoke that, and then you take some of that and you put that in a bowl, and you get you some of those pepperoncinis. You cut those up, and maybe some tomato. You get that in there, and you get it all worked in there with all that smoky goodness, and a little bit of that pork rub that you put on there. Mix it all. Oh my God! And then you put that on the taco. Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm all for tacos any day. But you give me some pulled pork cheesy tacos. Hell yeah. Mars Bars 805 says happy Whiskey Wednesday, guys. I'll take an 805, please. So okay. And then that's where I'm stopping your text. 888-368-1580. By the way, I do want to retract a statement that I had made the other day. I think it was on Twitter. No, actually it was today. Trying to figure out what the hell has gone wrong with the Diamondbacks. Well, they're playing the Dodgers. That's what's gone wrong with the Diamondbacks. Dodgers, great team right now. They paid for it. Diamondbacks, not so great team. They paid for it. So one of the things I was thinking, well, it could be Tom Hanks and Chet Hanks were at the game and cheering on the Dodgers. And I thought, well, the negative mojo of Chet Hanks, because he's a clown ass, that it would work against the Dodgers. But no, Tom Hanks has so much positive mojo, it canceled out Chet Hanks's mojo. And then that's what happened. Then they won. And then I realized I was incorrect. That was from when they played the Phillies. So Diamondbacks just stink. So it had nothing to do with.
Well, I mean, listen, the Diamondbacks don't stink. I think that's
they do in this series, right?
Well, I mean, this is a tough series. You're playing the premier team of your division, and you're going to play them something like 19 times this year. And I hate to sound negative, but I mean, what do you expect? What do you expect? You don't expect the Diamondbacks to go in there and sweep them, do you?
Well, I mean, they beat them in a series earlier in the year. It'd be nice if they could at least shown up for this one. They have not even shown up for this, man. They
won a game.
Okay, I
believe they won the first game. Did they?
No, the first game they lost 7-6. The next game 12-3. That was yesterday. Did they? I don't think they won any this time. I
thought they played a game and the Diamondbacks won, and then they played the doubleheader yesterday and they lost both ends of the doubleheader yesterday.
Please stand by. I'll have that information for you shortly. No, lost 5-4, lost 7-6, lost 12-3.
Right.
And as we are currently sitting here, losing 5-2. So it's about to be a 4-game sweep of your Diamondbacks.
Well,
so,
but that's going to happen, though. It's going to happen.
I mean, listen, I'm not negative about it, but yeah, they kind of stink. I mean, against the Dodgers, they more than stink. Against other teams, depending on the team, yeah, they got a shot, and we can have some fun.
They got Philadelphia coming up. They've also got Chicago. They're going to Chicago.
Got Kansas City.
They have Kansas City coming up, and I think they have Cincinnati. I think they either they go to Cincinnati or Cincinnati comes to town. I can't remember which.
They've got the Dodgers coming up after that. They got another series there. Then they got Atlanta. Then they got Pittsburgh. Then they got Cincinnati. And they go to Cincinnati for that one.
Pittsburgh and Cincinnati in the same week. That'll be a good week probably for the Diamondbacks. I mean, Cincinnati Reds throw a damn no-hitter and they still lose the damn game. What do they have to do?
That was hilarious. Let's see. Apple says, go Cubs, and I'm enjoying the show from work. Hey, Apples. Thanks for that. Big George says, the Diamondbacks have not won a single game in this series. Yes,
I thought they'd won the first one. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Moist One has called me out because it did occur to me in my brain. He's like, wait, 5-4, 7-6? That means they didn't show up? Well, they didn't show up with a W. How's that? I was thinking the same thing as I was saying it out loud. Yeah, there's your positive angle. They only lost by 1 2 times. You know, they lost all 4, but
in both of those games, the 5-4 and the 7-6, they were up in the game. They had a chance to put it away. They've got no bullpen. I mean, you might as well put me or Jeffrey or Keon out there and let us throw. Hell, bring in Albert Pujols and let him throw that 53-mile-an-hour scorcher that he's got, and put him out there because it's essentially what you're doing with this Diamondback bullpen. And they know they've got a bad bullpen, and yet they don't do anything about it.
At least you didn't have the night that Steven Souza Jr. had. Did you see that?
No.
Oh my God, he was just a wrecking squad for the other team, and I'll tell you about it when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brett Musburger's Action Update. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now. Here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
PGA Championship underway from Tulsa tomorrow. Scotty Scheffler and John Rahm each at 11-1 odds, followed by Rory McIlroy and Justin Thomas at 14-1, Colin Morikawa at 16-1. The Heat took Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals 118-107 over the Celtics. Tonight it's Game 1 of the West. The Mavericks a 5-point underdog at the Warriors. The over-under at 214.5. NHL Game 1 of the East second round. The Hurricanes a -170 favorite at home against the Rangers at +145, 5.5 the total. Later the Oilers +135 at the Flames, -155, a total of 6 in Game 1 in the West. For vsin.com, I'm Trey Westerberg on Arizona's sports betting station.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears Radio Hour. In the show, we try to teach the tools, rules, and strategies that traders and investors need to do better with their wealth and portfolio income. But most of the time, an hour is just not long enough. At Online Trading Academy, we believe that the average person should be given the tools, rules, and strategies that Wall Street's elites have been using for years to outperform others. Are you one of the millions that have recently established a trading account? Or have you always wanted to trade or take a more active role in guarding and growing your own wealth, but have not had the know-how or confidence? We want to invite you out to a complimentary 3-hour power trading and investing workshop, where you'll learn what it is that the professionals use to limit their risks and maximize their possible gains in both trading and investing. To register, call 8448-TRADER. That's 844-887-2337, or text the word stocks to 25029. Again, that's stocks to 25029. Reserve your seat now.
Distracted driving kills in Arizona. Life is more important than your phone's beep. Stop the distracted driving, Arizona, please. Sponsored by the Arizona Chapter National Safety Council and the Governor's Office of Highway Safety, aired in cooperation with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
Market Wrap host Mo Ansari talks about the dangers of emotional investing.
There's two things that people sell. One is greed and one is fear. Whenever you buy either one of those, you're going to end up getting burned because they are the epitome of emotions. And you've heard me say, whenever emotions take over, you're in trouble. If you don't want that to happen to you, give us a call. We'll be more than happy to do an objective evaluation of your portfolio. You'll find the right degree of risk, what you have in your portfolio, what you should have, depending on your age, depending on your emotional makeup, depending on your financial makeup, depending on what your objectives are. All of those things go in to determine the correct balance of portfolio. We'll do that for you. It is free. You have to at least get started.
If you're ready to get started, call pound 250 and say talk to Mo, or go to compact.com and click on the Get Started button. That's COMPAK.com.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor, funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA, SIPC.
The Rams were built to win the Super Bowl. The Los Angeles Rams have won Super Bowl 56. But if you think that brought the end of the NFL season, you'd better think again. The NFL is a year-round beast, and we keep you in the know. Free agency, trades, retirements, hirings, firings, holdouts, injuries, training camps, and a whole lot more. Football is always in season here. We are 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Your home for football.
Welcome back to a Wednesday edition of the Daily Blender here on 1580 99.3 The Fanatic. One of the things I love about betting my favorite sports is that I'm always finding new player props or game props that I like. And one reason is because the FanDuel Sportsbook gives you the opportunity to combine prop bets from multiple games, now even multiple sports. And with so much going on, you got the NBA going on, you got the MLB going on, the NHL playoffs going on. And I mean, if you're a fan, you got the WNBA going on. So much to put together and get in there and be a professor of betting. Sometimes I like to do that. I like to kind of go through what the day's games are and go in there and, I'll take a little NBA here. I like this baseball game matchup because I like this pitching matchup. I might throw that in there. It's called Same Game Parlay, and you can figure out how to do it because it's real simple on the FanDuel Sportsbook. You can only find Same Game Parlay Plus on the FanDuel Sportsbook. Combine NBA playoff player props you love with your favorite baseball home run hitters, for example. And like I said, I might take some money and put it on, I don't know, Shohei Ohtani. Maybe he's going to be on the hill. I might go, over 6 strikeouts or something. He's been just on fire lately on the hill. And then I might take Mike Trout. He's going to get a home run. And then I might take, with the Western Conference Finals going tonight, I might put Steph Curry in there to put up 6 threes, more than 6 threes, and then take the overall score and put that in there. See, I just built it right here. There you go. I just built it for you. You can do that on the Same Game Parlay Plus on the FanDuel Sportsbook. If you don't want to build your own, well, check out their popular Same Game Parlay section.
He built this parlay.
Yeah, where you can join the
this parlay.
Where you can join the bets that other people are jumping in on that they built themselves. So it saves you some time. Maybe you're on the go. You just grab your phone there. You jump on. We need to make that song, by the way.
No, please, God, I hate that song. I hate myself for even doing that just now.
Listen, if you're on the run, get your phone. You go to the FanDuel Sportsbook app. You fire it up right there. It's simple. You grab that parlay that other people are on that you like. You can just set it up right now. And if you're new to FanDuel, sign up with promo code Randy1580. Now, we've spent a lot of time making that code the code. So, Dale and Steve, they're good and everything, but you got to use Randy1580. And that code is going to give you your first bet risk-free up to $1,000.
Randy 1580.
Yeah, there you go. Make every moment more and download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Just use promo code Randy 1580. It's science. It's a great code to use, and it also lets the good folks at FanDuel know that I sent you. Got to be 21 or older, present in Arizona. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as a non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. I lost my bet last night, but I'm not deterred. I took the under last night.
That's right.
In the Celtics Miami Heat game, and Keon, I think you took the under.
I took the under too. Yeah, got burned a little.
Yeah. Well, but you know what? There's tomorrow night. We could try it again.
There's always tomorrow night,
and it's easy to do on the FanDuel Sportsbook. So there you go.
So speaking of betting and parlays and building parlays and stuff, how about
bets.
this? There's a guy who correctly picked every NBA and every NHL Game 7 as part of this wild 7-leg parlay. Here's what he did. Game 7 was the thought process. So this guy, and I'm not making this up, he's Steve Nugget, decided to try his hand at a parlay and, involving all the Game 7. So here's what he's got. He's got $60 on a money line parlay. He correctly guessed the winner of each game, and he got a payout of $4,322.99.
What was his investment?
Hurricanes, $60. Hurricanes over Bruins, Oilers over Kings, Rangers over Penguins, Flames over Stars, Celtics over Bucks. So there's a box of chalk for you, right? But then he had these two upsets, which were a Lightning over the Maple Leafs and the Mavericks over the Suns. And that right there got him $4,322.99.
Wow.
Good for him.
Someday I hope to hit a parlay, but it won't be for 60. It'll be for $1. Because I'm not
the way that was paying out. That seems like that still gets you a nice, decent chunk of change there.
Yeah, sure, but I don't want to. I mean, if you paid $6, you just move the decimal, you'd have $432.
Yeah,
I just don't see myself risking it on a parlay. I don't have that kind of confidence in my parlay picking, but I'll put $1 down and win a little chunk. I mean, I'd rather go at it a bit at a time and not risk my giant pile than to put 60 in there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, you bet your bet. Some people have criticized me. You're only betting $1. Are you even betting? All right, fine. You go ahead and do 10, do 20, do what you want. I'm doing it what I want. And, but still, I got to do a parlay. I think I'm going to take advantage of that FanDuel parlay thing there, Randy. I think I'm going to build my own parlay.
Yeah. And again, if you can also take one that somebody else has done, and it's real simple to do. You can see what they've done. It's just like bang, bang. Like if you're, I want to put money on this game tonight. Let me see what's available. It's quick.
Yeah, you can cheat on somebody else's paper or
heck yeah,
do your own. Not bad. 888-368-1580. A-Wings 22 says, imagine rooting for a Major League Baseball team with double-digit losses.
What?
He sounds like an asshat Yankee fan because they're the only ones that don't have double-digit losses.
Oh,
only the Yankees. Yeah.
Imagine rooting for a team from the desert, only 4 years in existence, that beat the big bad Wolves from New York. Imagine that.
We can't do that, Randy. We can't go back 22 years.
Why can't I?
You have to go back 22 years.
I can do anything I want. I'm a man. If I want to go back and
you shouldn't do that.
Rub their nose in it.
I can't get in on that. So I can't get in on a 21-year-old championship. I can't do it, Randy. I can't even go back to 2009 when the Colts won the Super Bowl now. I guess it's too far back now.
Yeah, well, it's the only championship I've had here, except for the Arizona Rattlers, who are 6 times chasing their 7th world championship, by the way.
I will say that in the particular use of that championship, because the Diamondbacks beat the specific team in question, that's not the same thing as going – just randomly bragging like Laker fans always do about.
We crushed your hopes and dreams right after 9/11, Yankees fans.
That's true.
That wasn't a bad look at all.
And the night they came back here, Game 6, I'll never forget. We beat them like 12-2, and somebody up in the sound booth played New York, New York. I'll never forget the look of Joe Torre and Bob Brenly's faces. That was priceless. It wasn't Brenly. He's like, I don't know what they're doing. Joe Torre was fit to be tied. Start spreading the news.
Hey, we were told we had to get back to our lives. We were told if we don't play this, the terrorists win. That's what we were told. Hanjolo sends a picture of his pulled pork tacos. Oh my God. Will you adopt me? Oh my God. Those look amazing. That's like restaurant amazing. Yeah. You just took a picture of that at a restaurant. That ain't yours. If it is yours. Oh my God. I want some of that. Big George says Randy is really going to take a bet on Shohei Ohtani. I have a hard time believing that.
Well, listen, I like Shohei Ohtani. I have nothing against him. I just don't like the dweeb ass, nothing baseball writers thinking that he walks on water. He doesn't.
Right. And understand something. Randy and Michelle Tafoya, worlds apart. Randy just doesn't like the sports writers, planting their lips on Shohei Ohtani's ass constantly. It's not that he doesn't think he's a good player. Unlike Michelle Tafoya, purely racist. That's all there is there. So,
is she?
I didn't see all of her tweets. I just saw one.
Do a little reading into what she's up to and who she's supporting. Yeah, you'll get your answer. 888-368-1580. Mr. Wilbur says, Jeffrey, who sings that song? The Built That City. Your mom. Moist One says, well, he tried to rope me into that old joke. So Moist One says, please don't talk about Sousa. Please don't talk about Sousa. Well, as a Mariners fan, you're going to have to listen and you're going to have to like it because, yes, we're going to talk about Sousa. What the hell happened to Steven Sousa Jr.?
I don't know.
He's sort of fallen apart as of late, but no worse than the other night when the Blue Jays beat the Mariners 3-0. What a bad night for Sousa. 1 out in the top of the second inning. Sousa comes up to the plate, bases loaded, swings the first pitch, grounded directly into a double play.
Okay.
That's all right. That happens, right?
Yeah.
In the bottom half of the inning with 2 outs and the bases loaded, George Springer pops one out to shallow right field. No problem. No biggie. Sousa tries to make a diving catch, but misses. Springer ended up with a bases clearing triple, those would be the only runs scored by either team. So basically, Sousa lost the game for them in the bottom of that inning.
Okay.
And then what? Sousa's like, hey, here's a ball for someone. He throws a ball into the stands, and it knocks somebody the bleep right out.
Oh, no.
Or just bloodied them so bad, they had to be taken out on an ambulance. In fact, this dude was up the bat. And he's like, time. He steps out because he sees the ambulance in the on the concourse, like off the back, just in the beyond the outfield, going by. And he's like, whoa, what's that? And he's like, oh yeah, that's that person that Steven Sousa just murdered with a ball. Okay, let's go play it again. And bad night for Steven Sousa Jr. What happened to him, Moist One? He doesn't seem like his old self, does he?
The Sousbot. He played for the Diamondbacks for a minute or two. I think he came up and in spring training one season, got injured, was out the entire season. He started the next season he was here. He was injured. So I think we got rid of him, but that's too bad. I mean, you have games that are that embarrassing, but it seemed like everything was going wrong. Everything was
Murphy's Law is what happened to Steven Sousa. That I like everything that could have gone wrong from offense, defense, fan interaction. I mean, I hope that they didn't put him in front of a microphone because who knows what would have happened then. You gotta make sure the person you're throwing the ball to is looking. I taught my kids that very early because I got beamed in the side of the head by so many different footballs, baseballs, you name it. I'm like, I told you, wait till there's eye contact. You're gonna hurt somebody, and then somebody is always me. Like I'll be standing there and poof, what the hell? Why?
Oh boy.
You learn that at a young age. Make sure the person who you're throwing the ball to is ready. And this person in the stands, unless he just missed, somebody's like, hey, what a ball. And he 2 people over right in the head of somebody. I don't know. Sousa had a bad night. That's all there is to it.
Top to bottom.
No kidding.
All right. So the Celtics looked like they were going to have a good night last night. And, they led quite a bit of the game. And then the Miami Heat go, oh, that's right. We're the Miami Heat. We'll win this, please. And they stepped up and took care of business in the third. And let me tell you, it was not pretty. The whole game for the Heat happened in the third. Sure, the Celtics won the first and the second and the fourth, really. So, but no, the Heat took care of business and that was that. So, Keon, so this is a positive for the Celtics that they were able to play as well with the injuries, or was this just two teams getting to know each other, sniffing each other's butts, like dogs do in the dog park kind of thing, and then the inevitable happens. So, what do you think the story was of this game?
I think the story of this game was two things. One, Miami can flex their defensive muscles whenever they want. Just whenever they get to that point where they figured you out, they can choke you out of a game, which is what they did. It started the third quarter, I think, on a 22-2 run. And then the other part is Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler
is an incredible basketball player. And
27 of his 41 points happened right there in the second half.
He outscored the Celtics in the third by himself. I mean, that's going to kill any team. And I do think that Boston should feel good about the way that they played for the most part. But I think that they should be very concerned that they don't have any answers for Jimmy Butler. That is, if I were Ime Udoka, I would be trying to figure out right now, how do I get the ball out of that guy's hands? Because when he's got it, I mean, it wasn't like he was volume shooting. He was very efficient. 14 for 19 from the field. He had a really good night shooting the basketball, and that's going to be Jimmy most nights. I mean, he showed up in every single playoff game that Miami's needed him to have a big game. And, they don't have to worry about offense as long as he's on the floor. He'll figure out the scoring. They just need to figure out how to slow down and stop, Jason Tatum. I do think that it's good that Jason Tatum got, 29 points playing well. Jaylen Brown scored 24. So your two best players are out there playing well. You just need a third guy, a third person. And maybe you're looking at Al Horford when he comes back to be that guy, and maybe Marcus Smart to contribute a little bit on that end too.
So no word yet on either of those two guys. I mean, I would imagine there would be. It's too soon, right?
It would, especially too soon for Marcus Smart, because we just don't know how bad that sprain is.
Well, on CBS Sports, sprain. Marcus Smart is listed as maybe, but Al Horford is listed as doubtful for game 2.
All right.
Yeah, the protocol, he's just going to have to go through that, and we don't know what the process is on that, really. It's a little vague.
Big George says, why didn't the Suns have a moment like the Miami Heat where they realized in game 6 that, oh, yeah, we're the best team in the NBA, and then beat the Mavericks? What the hell, Suns? Well, here's the headline, Big George. The Suns are not the best team in the NBA.
I think that's all there is to it. They're the best regular season team, but there's a second season. That's what they call the postseason. It's very different from how the regular season works, because you've got to make adjustments for what a team is doing to you. And the Suns couldn't do that. Miami can.
We thought they were. They thought they were. And then they weren't. So, and that is the way it goes, Big George. Bookerworld says Suns will be fine next year. Back in the run of things like this season didn't even happen. Although the feeling was the same as your girlfriend losing a fist fight. Kind of getting her hair pulled, kicked while she's down. What are you talking about?
I mean, and I don't know that you look, we'll talk about this later at some point, I'm sure, but the Suns have serious questions right now, because I think the Western Conference is going to be an even tougher conference going into next season. If you stand pat, you might not be good enough to make it there. So the Suns have a lot of questions looking at them down the road.
So FedFan was talking about, and I don't generally need to be promoting somebody's podcast or whatnot, but I don't know who Flex from Jersey is enough to say if they're even an insider or actually know anything. But the thought process is that the Suns are looking to bring in some big superstar and then keep CP3 and Booker and have those guys, take care of business there. But DeAndre Ayton is probably going to go down the driveway to another team. And in fact, according to this fella, he's been telling people he wants to be traded. And part of the conversation is that Monty said, "Hey, you quit on us." DA yelled back, "Monty, I can't pass the ball to myself." And that is one of the things that is coming out now. I don't know if this is true or not true, but that's what's being said by somebody on a podcast or something.
I can't pass the ball to myself.
That was his complaint. It's like, you quit on us. He's like, I can't pass the ball to myself, meaning there's nobody he could get the ball to.
That is something I noticed this season, and I did mention it earlier in the season. There'll be times he'll be down low and he'll be cooking, and then they just don't pass the ball. Like they just stop.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. Maybe they just prefer the jump shots. Maybe Chris Paul, Devin Booker, that feels more reliable to everybody. but it's something that's going to frustrate every big man. It frustrated Shaq, and Shaq's one of the best we've ever had. So, big guys like to get their touches, especially a guy that operates in the post and is as polished around the basket as DeAndre Ayton. I do think that is a tremendous factor, but I also think that, like, if you want to move on and try to add more pieces, DeAndre Ayton is the only asset you have to move. That'll net you anything that gives you a boost, because I don't think that you're going to get that much back for Chris Paul at 38. And I wouldn't move on from Booker.
Now we know how to do it, though. And now you know how to do it. Let's take a break. We'll come back, talk some more about this and other NBA things. The Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply. If you are a man over 40, listen up, because this could impact how much you're getting done during the day and at night. The harsh reality is, once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. Here's the good news. Nugenix, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC, has changed the game again for men over 40 with Nugenix Total T, their most powerful man-boosting formula ever. And guys all over America are raving about it. Jeremy P. says, this is the best product I found to raise T levels. I plan on using the product for the rest of my life. And how about Shane D? He says, I had no drive and was tanked out at the end of the day. After 3 months, my energy level is through the roof. I work out like most 19-year-olds. I am 47. Guys over 40, you need Nugenix Total T. And right now, you can get a complimentary bottle. Just text BREAK to 42424. It's the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. But you can only get your complimentary bottle by texting BREAK to 42424. That's BREAK to 42424. Text BREAK to 42424.
Come join the fun as Kasai Japanese Steakhouse presents its first annual Fire and Fairways charity golf tournament, Monday morning, June 6th at Silverado Golf Club in Scottsdale. Proceeds go to support Arizonans for Children, helping foster kids since 2002. Entries just $150, includes contest prizes, raffles, plus a fabulous lunch and drink celebration at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale. You can help. They need sponsors, golfers, and prize donations. And you can win a 2-year car lease from Coulter Cadillac. Go to fireandfairways.com. That's fireandfairways.com today.
I represent low-cost airlines, and we know a lot of you are not traveling right now, and we understand. However, if you do need to travel between now and the end of the year, now is a great time to lock in some of the lowest prices we've seen in a lifetime. Hey, in normal times, we can save you up to 75%, but now airlines are practically giving away seats. We have inside deals on over 500 airlines. Here are a few sample round-trip deals we found. Seattle to Vegas, $35. Chicago to Atlanta, $85. Los Angeles to Atlanta, $100. Of course, there are some limitations, but the airlines want your business right now. And cancellation and change fees are flexible. So fly somewhere this year, book now, save a ton, call right now.
802-341-4535. 802-341-4535. 802-341-4535. That's 802-341-4535.
Come join the fun as Kasai Japanese Steakhouse presents its first annual Fire and Fairways charity golf tournament, Monday morning, June 6th at Silverado Golf Club in Scottsdale. Proceeds go to support Arizonans for Children, helping foster kids since 2002. Entries just $150, includes contest prizes, raffles, plus a fabulous lunch and drink celebration at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale. You can help. They need sponsors, golfers, and prize donations. And you can win a 2-year car lease from Coulter Cadillac. Go to fireandfairways.com. That's fireandfairways.com today.
If it's local, we talk about it. 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic.
Today with Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. All right, so we're trying to talk about the Celtics and the Heat, and it sort of slipped over into talking about what the Suns should do, should not do. It was a wasted opportunity. You know what I'm saying? It was a wasted opportunity. It doesn't make sense. Kind of like the way I see giraffes. I mean, how the heck are giraffes up there and not like eating birds right out of the sky? Sure, that's easy for them to just like that as they fly by. You know, they're right up there like that. That's all they need to do. Or just, murder them in their nests.
Well, they don't. The giraffes don't have the canine teeth.
The evolution should have helped develop that.
Herbivores, man.
Yeah, they could be omnivores very easily. That's a horrifying thing, though. I'll tell you what, I'm not staying in one of those hotels where the giraffe pokes his head in the window and like you give it little giraffe kibble. I don't know what the hell they feed a giraffe, but I don't need this giant face coming in like, and I'm like, oh, nope, no, thank you. You're just a giant horse, and that's it. You're a horse with a very long neck. I don't need this in my life. You're a giant horse. I mean, that's what the giraffe is related to, right? A horse?
Yeah, they're in the same family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're the weirdo of the family. I don't want nothing to do with the giraffe. Anyway, so that's a wasted opportunity. Giraffes not eating birds directly out of the sky in flight, and the Suns, losing the Mavericks. So, Big George says the only sports podcast I listen to is the Daily Blender podcast and the forthcoming Whiskey Wisdom podcast by Jeffrey O'Brien, probably coming in 2028. Yeah, sounds about right. Voice one says, problem is if you try to trade Ayton for a superstar, you're probably going to have to send Bridges along with him. Why Bridges? Why are you shouldn't have to send anybody along with him.
And if you sign and trade, he's getting the max. You wouldn't have to send Bridges anywhere. Why would you have to?
I don't think that's a completely necessary. Moist one also says the Celtics came out looking pretty good in the first half, but looked like they had no juice coming out of the half. Tatum, he just looked gassed. Well, I guess you could understand why, right?
Yeah, he's carrying more of the offensive load by himself.
The Jet says there is more to the story. Suns played balls out all year long, and then laid a turd during the playoffs. Some things not jiving with this team. They were fighting amongst each other in almost every game, even when they were winning. I can't wait to hear what the real reasoning is. I guess so. But then there's also they seemed like a team that was doing pretty good together and getting along, and the chemistry and the silly dances they would do right before the game, the warm up thing where
and they'd work out after games.
Yeah, to be honest, that part was embarrassing. Even Emmanuel Acho, he tweeted out, well, now that I've seen this, I no longer blame CP3. And it just shows the thing where they're all just being silly in the hallway and doing silly things, I don't know.
You're talking about 19, 20-year-old guys. They're going to be a little goofy. To me, that's not even...
It was beyond goofy. It was like teenage girl weird, It was just weird. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh,
I'm waiting for the tell-all movie to come out.
Yeah, just do that. You don't need to see this. I'm sure more information.
Dresses or painting each other's toenails. What the hell?
They're pretending to take selfies together and dancing and then doing all the handshakes. I mean, the handshake thing could be kind of cool, but it was just a little weird what they were doing.
I don't know. I don't see that that's the problem. They didn't lose because they were doing that.
It's because you're young. Okay. 888-368-1580. Fed fan says I'd give the Nets DA and Cam Johnson for Kevin Durant. Well, not Cam Johnson. I like Cam Johnson.
I mean, we like Cam Johnson, but first off, that you'd be fleecing the Nets. The Nets are not giving you Kevin Durant.
No. They're not bright. Thunder Snow says
they would be stupid if they took that trade.
Oh, well, that's what I just said. They're not bright.
I think that the GM actually is quite bright. They're not taking that trade, guys.
Thunder Snow wants a double of Jameson, please.
Absolutely.
Lost Toby says, wait, what? This is a sports podcast? I'm not going to argue with somebody, but I know what you're saying.
I mean, technically.
Booger Wolf says, Jeffy, you probably like the Cranberries than the stupid ass band that only features a harmonica freaking blues traveler. Where is this coming from? No and no. What the hell is wrong with you? Moist One says, who do you think you're going to get for Ayton straight up then?
Well, who says first off?
Wait. Your mom.
But who says you need to get anything for Ayton straight up? I'll take some time and look and see what's out there. I don't know what the Pacers necessarily have to offer, but the Pacers were desperate to try and grab DeAndre Ayton at the trade deadline. If people remember that, they called multiple times. So there are plenty of teams, but you're not going to get a already established superstar.
We could finally get Reggie Miller. I think we should make that trade. Fed fan says, way to be a narc, Keon. Yeah, maybe the Nets didn't realize that, and maybe they'd have gone for it.
I don't understand why that would have happened.
Mr. Wilbur says, how bad would our lives be if LeBron James came to the Suns, to try to so-called rescue us and give us our first title? No thanks, LaFoney.
I don't think that was on the table, though.
More likely that it would be Westbrook. More likely that somebody would try to trade us Westbrook. That's what you got to be worried about.
And that's not a great idea for reasons we saw in LA. Westbrook's got to be the best player on the team for him to be truly effective, or it's just not going to work that well.
So Boogie says 2 epic meltdowns to end the season. This has to be part coaching. Pressure must be coached differently. And he says, who would you trade Ayton for a top 5 pick and then sign LeBron James? Detroit has pick number 5. They're the odds-on favorite to land Ayton, maybe as well as get something back for him. Or Kings James, he's not happy in LA. He's still a force, although he brings the circus with him. Is he a force? Let's be honest, is LeBron James today a force?
He is still a really good basketball player. I would not describe him as a force any longer. Because like LeBron James, when we were talking about when LeBron was a force, that guy carried a Cavs team whose names none of us remember anymore. We're talking about, Boobie Gibson and Anderson Varejao and Zydrunas Ilgauskas. That team went to a finals with LeBron. That LeBron was a force. This LeBron is really, really good, but he's not a force.
Anyway. How old is LeBron? He's older than CP3, isn't he?
38. Yeah, they're the same age.
Fed fan called you a narc.
I don't know why, but all right.
The Jet says if they had a first-round draft pick, they might take that trade. Moist One says, that's all I'm saying. If you aren't going to get a star without packaging with a player like Bridges too there. Blissful Hayes says, which was a better fight, DeAndre and Monty in Game 7 or Diana Taurasi and her teammate yesterday? I have no idea what you're talking about because that's WNBA. So she was fighting with a teammate.
I missed that. I don't know.
Good answer.
And I am the person that follows the WNBA that closes on the show. And
I think you follow some players. I don't think you follow
I follow my team.
Mm-hmm. You have a team?
The Mystics, the Washington Mystics. I support all the DC teams.
I had no idea that you had a team. I didn't have any idea.
Literally the first week I was on this show, I was being made fun of for having a team.
Yeah, we forget that immediately because it's the WNBA.
Okay, well, that's what it is.
Yeah, we did talk about this the first week he was on the show.
I believe you, but
because on his Twitter page he had a WNBA star.
Right, I thought it was his girlfriend or something, or sister. And he's just like, it's just a girl that's on the game.
Played for Washington. She was in her jersey. Like I don't understand. She plays, and she actually plays here now. She plays for the Mercury.
Tina Charles. No kidding.
Yeah. Do you want to get her on the show?
I don't think that's a great idea. What would we ask her on this show?
So here's how it works. You ask her to be on the show. Shut up. You get her on the show. And then Randy and I will just walk off. It's kind of like, have you met Keon? And then we walk off and, you do your,
I'll
shoot your shot, man. You shoot your
light
shot.
some candles for you and turn on a little,
jazz
in the background.
I don't want it to be that. No, I would like it to, if I bring somebody on the show,
nice meat for you and make a nice salad and have some sides.
It would be professional.
I get a towel on my arm. I'll be like a waiter.
Yeah, there you go.
Would you like to see the line list? Keon, he's spared no expense.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps you like something from this box or from this box. These are fine wines. So that's what we got to do, Keon. Let's get her on the show.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's a great idea.
She'll think she's coming for a radio interview, and it turns out, hello.
No, that's exactly what I don't.
It's a Daily Blender surprise date with Keon.
See,
bam!
No, that is the opposite of what I want. But thanks.
What? Why do you mean the opposite of what you want? Why is it the opposite? You have to have some feelings for her. You had her picture up on your Twitter. Yeah, you have to have some feelings for the girl.
On my banner, I put, whatever team is in season, the best player on the team is on my banner on my page.
Are you telling me right now that
either that or an anime?
You would not go out with this girl? You're saying there's no chance for her with you?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I'm not going to use the blender as a vehicle to go on dates with WNBA players.
Why not?
I don't see why you don't.
What a great setup for you, man.
Absolutely perfect. What are you going to use this show for?
I went to the Phoenix Open, had a blast there.
going to sporting events. I'm telling you right now, man. I'm telling you right now. Oh my God. We get you a very tall girlfriend if you just trust us.
I'll be okay.
All right. Well, Randy, you and I will talk later.
All right.
What? Well, we'll figure this out.
Yeah.
It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 Fanatic. Hour 2 is up next.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
If you're rolling over your 401k to an IRA soon, but not sure if you want to go all in on this crazy market, here's what many retiring professionals are doing. How about a safe and secure IRA offering a contractually guaranteed 10% income bonus that grows 7% annually guaranteed? Your income can double in 10 years. Meanwhile, neither your principal nor your retirement income is ever subjected to a market downturn. Even if the market crashes by 50%, you get the 10% bonus. Your income keeps growing at 7%, and your principal may grow without losses uncapped. You go up with the index, never down, forward, never back. Get a 10% income bonus with a 7% contractually guaranteed growth rate. I compare over 1,200 annuities with a fiduciary duty and can help you retire and stay retired.
Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so compare with leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now. Visit IQannuity.com, IQannuity.com, IQannuity.com.
500 apiece, you get that fine for 500, 502 apiece, 150.
The best weekly auction is right here in Arizona. It's only a click of the mouse away from great deals on almost everything. Visit liquidateaz.com for this week's online auction that features new household items, tools, appliances, furniture collectibles, including jewelry, coins, knives, stamp collection, and military items. Each week's auctions feature a wide variety of different items, with all auction items starting at $1. Liquidateaz.com, all up for auction this week. Liquidateaz.com to view this week's auctions. Looking to liquidate an estate or your business excess inventory? Liquidateaz.com can help with complete auction services. Liquidate AZ will handle everything for your online auction, from online auction setup, extensive marketing, facilitating the online auction, and schedule the pickup and delivery after the auction. Liquidateaz.com. For more information, that's liquidateaz.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Joe the Show says, Randy and Jeffrey, the ultimate freaking wingman. Triple shots all around.
Yeah, well, there you go.
He's trying to help you out there, Keon. Just trying to say.
No, I appreciate it. I'll be okay.
We have great success in such things. So just saying. Let's see. Wilbur says, I don't know if anybody noticed this, but earlier Keon said booby. Yes, he did.
Yeah,
that was
the name.
That was that man's
the name
nickname.
of some guy. Yeah. Booby.
Hello, booby.
I think his actual name was Daniel, but I don't know. I don't know where the nickname came from.
Probably his mom.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fed fan
booby.
says, oh, so Keon is one of the 10 fans that watch the NBA in the country.
You mean the WNBA?
Pretty sure that's what he meant.
WNBA. Didn't I say that? I thought I said that. He said if we get LeBron and win a championship, Phoenix would still not get credit for being able to win without superstars' help.
We're not going to get LeBron. Come on.
First off,
come on.
What team has won an NBA championship without the help of a superstar? I'll wait.
So let me throw this on the table.
Your mom?
And you guys laugh at me. You laugh at me if you want to. You
That
can't
was a
throw my
positive
mom on the
thing. That was
table.
actually
My
kinda
mom
nice.
is dead.
That was Keon's mom, and
Oh,
she's a baller. She can play.
Yeah, I think Keon's
Absolute
mom would give you
superstar.
a pretty good damn fight if you try to throw her on a table. What about DeAndre Ayton to the Knicks? What?
Mm-hmm. What?
To the
DeAndre
Knicks
Ayton to the Knicks
for Julius Randle.
I don't care if you're trading for Julius Caesar. We ain't gonna win with that guy.
I like Julius Randle.
I like Julius Caesar.
Aggressive. You know, he's 6'8". He plays bigger than he is. Come on.
And in the Western Conference, it is getting to a point where if you've got a center, your center has to be elite scorer or defensive player or passer, or they're going to get played off the floor. Like a lot of these Western Conference teams want to go smaller. They want to have spacing. They want to shoot more. And I do think that there were times where having DeAndre Ayton made it hard for them to keep up. And actually, that was something that Jason Kidd said after game 2, that he wanted to force the Suns to go smaller, force the Suns to have lineups where they didn't have DeAndre Ayton, because that was an advantage for the Mavs. So you get Julius Randle. He operates the same way down low. He's just as polished as a post player. He's just smaller.
Who says no to that one? Who says no to DA for Julius Randle?
And I don't know, maybe try and scrape a pick from the Knicks too, because why not?
Fed fan says you're really starting to get on my nerves there, Keon.
I have no idea what I did, but
I think the whole suggestion. I don't know. Ukla Mock says Detroit Pistons in the early 2000s. Come on, Chauncey Billups. Rest in peace, Hamilton. Fed fan said, she already said that you're annoying her. Bruno Baller says, didn't Randy and Jeffrey match Phil up with the HR girl and then they've left town and started a family? Yeah, it's a true story. It's a true story with a fictional character.
I don't think so.
Hey, people in Japan are marrying fictional characters all over the place. It's the new thing. So, don't tell Phil who he can and can't love. Is this America?
I mean, yeah. It's just. Did Phil say that was who he loved, or
doesn't matter? He's gone. We can say whatever you want.
Okay. Boy.
We can say whatever we want now. He ain't a damn thing he can do about it.
Huh? Unless he's listening right now.
I doubt it. Joe the Show says Randall is garbage. You're going to give up softness for turnovers is what's going to happen there.
He's garbage? I thought he was pretty tough.
He's not garbage. I just think that with Julius Randle, they tried the experiment of Julius Randle as the best player on a team. Julius Randle cannot be the best player on a team for that team to have long-term success. But not this past season, but the season before, dude carried him to the playoffs. So I don't think that it's safe to say that Julius Randle is garbage. No, I wouldn't say that.
Joe the Show also says when you can play chess grandmaster style, you are still a force. Talking about LeBron James. If Bron were to win Phoenix a chip, he'd go from LaFoney to LaHomie pretty quick. I don't know if I'd ever like LeBron because I don't like him as a player. I think he does great things for community. I don't think he's probably the worst human being on the planet or anything, but I don't care for him, the player.
LeBron James at this stage in his career would be like us when we picked up Shaquille O'Neal at his stage in his career.
Big old pile of what's the point?
I mean, we got him in. Why is this a Phoenix thing? Why do we bring in these superstars? Chris Paul, Shaquille O'Neal. Why do we bring these guys in past their prime? Because we can't afford them during their prime? I don't think so. We just dished out $110 million for CP3. So I don't know what the thinking is in the front office of the Phoenix Suns. We've got to be looking for somebody who's just getting to their prime or is already in their prime, and then pay out the wazoo for them and get them here, because that's how you're going to win a championship.
And you're really going to do that with somebody who is a free agent. It's hard to trade for that guy, because if someone has a player who's in their prime, who's that good, they're not giving them up. It's like evaluating quarterbacks in the NFL is hard because it's just, I don't know. This guy could be, anything from Joe Montana to Jamarcus Russell. I have no idea. But when it comes to the NBA, every guy is that guy. Every guy's a quarterback. Like, it's hard to evaluate that talent even in the draft. So when you have that guy, you're not just going to trade for him. You've got to find that person when they're a free agent and really make a push for him. That's the time to get him.
Almost exclusively says trade Ayton for Rudy Gobert.
No. I mean, look, if you trade for Rudy Gobert, you're going to have, a slight upgrade in defense.
We're all getting COVID.
But you're that too. But you're also not going to have anybody that scores the ball really well. Like, imagine if you pass the ball into DeAndre Ayton, except like he missed layups. Now what? You're not like, no, you're not getting better if you just straight up trade DeAndre Ayton for Rudy Gobert.
Boogie says, Phil took the HR girl because Jen, an accountant, would never leave me. Thunder Snow says,
Also,
I thought Jen from accounting died.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah, she did. But the HR girls who we're talking about went off to Filthy Phil. Also not real. Packer Cracker says, Julius is a headache to manage. So no.
All right.
Lost Toby says, Suns are trading Booker for DeAndre for AD and Westbrook. Booker for
God,
AD
I hope
and
not.
That makes no sense.
I think you meant DA, right? No, okay.
Anthony Davis and Westbrook. Trade Booker for Anthony Davis and Westbrook.
Why would you do that?
You would not do that.
You would get older and more feeble instantly. And I cannot stress this enough. Jay Crowder has scored more playoff points than Anthony Davis. He's never available in the postseason. Why would you make that trade?
Lost Toby just sent a really funny meme to me. Fred from Scooby-Doo about to take the mask off the monster. And it says Monty Williams, and he pulls the mask off, and underneath, Cliff Kingsbury.
Oh, no.
That is funny. It's heartbreaking, but funny. Rye Guy says, afternoon, gents. If anyone out there wants an awesome read, go get the new book on Phil Mickelson. Super eye-opening and entertaining. I promise you'll enjoy it. Mahalo. Rye Guy is doing his own episode of, what's that? What is it Jesselnick does? Recommendation station. That's what you're doing right there, Rye Guy. A little recommendation station. Flying Monkeys says, if it is true, Julius Randle did lead the Knicks to the playoffs 2 years ago. However, once they arrived there, he was nowhere to be found.
Like I said, he can't be the best player on a team. I think if you think you're trading DeAndre Ayton for a number one guy on a team, that is not about to happen right now. I'm sorry. But you can get a guy who can be a second or third option. And that's what I'm saying. Julius Randle led the Knicks to the playoffs as a number one option. But once he got there, he was limited and he was exposed as a number one guy. But if DeAndre Ayton is, I think we can say offensively, is he not the third option here on this team after Devin Booker and Chris Paul? You get Julius Randle, he can be that for you without the pressure of him having to be the leader and the main guy that scores and have to beat double teams, which he couldn't do.
Moist one sent me a very odd text. It says, can I get a shout out for my uncle who's a walk-on for the Northwestern Wildcats? And he sends a picture of a guy in a Northwestern jersey, number 1, and it's an older fella's head. It might actually be. I don't understand what I'm looking at, Moist one. Who is that? Blissful Hayes says, is that Washington Fecal Mystics, Keon?
No, just the Mystics.
Yeah, the Fecal Mist is a player in one of our fantasy football leagues.
And he texts from time to time.
Fish Tank says, I'd love to see the Suns sign Reggie Miller so we wouldn't have to hear him attempt to commentate games. And by the way, if you get that WNBA player on the show, you need to absolutely turn off the text line. Well, yeah, I mean, Randy and I walk away and, you pick your moments. You pick the right moment, and then Keon has no choice but to talk to a girl.
I mean, I don't know why you're saying that like that's never happened, but okay. I just don't think that given the way that this show has talked about the WNBA.
We haven't, so you can't say we've said anything bad about it.
Well, okay. The show, the texts about the WNBA.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, sure.
Which text?
Sure.
I see every text. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. I've heard you read the text, so I know what I'm talking about.
I'm not really
not bringing a WNBA player onto this show. Just not happening. Just not happening.
You embarrassed of us? I think you're embarrassed of us.
for a WNBA player.
She's a girl
in our not WNBA space.
A human being like anyone else. Just why are you so anti-WNBA, Keon? This is your chance.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
We'll wear him
Keon
down, Randy.
has learned a very valuable lesson.
I learned it from the best.
You know what? The less you say, the better it is.
I'll get us a WNBA player. I'll bring him in.
Oh boy.
Mr. Wilbur says, okay, I have the answer. Trade DeAndre Ayton and Mikal Bridges to Dallas for Luka Doncic.
Why does everybody want Mikal Bridges to go away? Why?
Because I understand in the NBA the contracts have to match. But if you sign and trade DeAndre Ayton for a max deal, there aren't very many contracts you'd have to match. So you don't have to give Mikal Bridges away. I mean, it actually might be possible to get the other team you're trading with to give you another player to match the max contract that Ayton would be getting. So
Hefty Lefty says, bold of you to assume we can all read, right, guy? It's a good point. That's a good point. By the way, some people type. I'm pretty sure many people on the text line cannot read. Hamilton Porter says, Ayton and your first round for the Joker. He already likes playing for Monty. Kiss the Cook says, you don't need to read a book about Phil Mickelson to know he's an asshat. Just ask the players and the caddies, and that's all you need to know. Boomer Sooner says, yeah, guys, those Rattler games are pretty fun. I won tickets last year, came down to the studio in Scottsdale to pick those bad boys up from you. Remember, I had that Super Bowl book, met Jeffrey, met Randy, and that's back when, what's his name was still there? Yeah. I do remember Boomer Sooner, but it was a long time ago. Moist One says, oh, that's a picture of Darren Ravel. Oh, okay. That's what he looks like. Baker's
Awkward
Cocky
man.
Hens says, trade Ayton for Griner right now. I'd be, if that helps us get her out of Russia, let's do this thing, right? She's the girl that's still there for no apparent reason.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, sorry, Ayton, you're Putin's bitch now. Ukla the Mock says it's a WNBA player. She's probably not interested in Keon, if you know what I mean. That's not true. Not all of them. Many of them. Not all of them. Or is it all of them?
No, it's not all.
See,
no,
okay,
it's not all WNBA players.
Oh, I'm just checking because you know more than we do. You watch it.
What is that? I'm going to know.
I don't know.
I watched
fair question. Joe the Show says, boo, Keon. Don't be a player hater. Be proud of your homies. Randy and Jeffrey are the ultimate playboys. Yeah, we're retired. We both have wives, and we're able to now help Keon.
I've been called a lot of things. Playboy is not one of them.
Players. Lost Toby says Keon doesn't even have the Fanatic on his LinkedIn. So,
what?
Just going to say.
That's simply not true.
What?
You found Keon on LinkedIn?
I have CRC Broadcasting on my LinkedIn.
So literally not the Fanatic, is it?
Well, because I tried to find, because you have to search it.
You just type the Fanatic.
Yeah, and it didn't come up, but
You
CRC
just put it there
Broadcasting
anyway.
came up, so I put that in.
He's embarrassed of us, Randy. I think you're right, Lost Toby. He's embarrassed of us.
I didn't know how to add the Fanatic. LinkedIn is a horrible website. I hate using it, but you got to because it's professional stuff. So I tried to add the Fanatic and it didn't pop up, and it won't let you add it if it doesn't pop up. CRC Broadcasting did, so I put that.
People only go on LinkedIn when they're trying to get a job. It's like the place, like a virtual place for your resume.
Yeah, I haven't logged in since I moved here. So,
yeah, we check. Thunder Snow says nothing's negative that has been said about the WNBA on the Blender. It was never talked about at all, but nothing negative.
Okay.
Lacrosse guy
I know what I heard, you guys, but that's fine.
Hey guys, what time tomorrow do you need me for Keon's college lacrosse dance party? Down to the final 8 teams. Big games on Saturday and Sunday.
They're big games, but I don't watch enough lacrosse, and I don't want to embarrass the great sport of lacrosse by not knowing anything.
Okay, so what if we got a female lacrosse player in for you?
There we go.
Why would that make a difference?
Well, you seem to have something against the WNBA players. So
I don't have anything against the WNBA.
Yeah, I don't know why you.
I don't know why you don't book one on the show. So
because the show and like The WNBA is like water, and the
your-
blender is like oil, and they don't mix. They just don't mix.
You think we wouldn't be professional?
Yeah.
No, I think you would be professional.
So then I don't know your problem.
I don't know what you're talking about. Jeffrey's trying to help the WNBA get better. You talked about lowering the baskets.
Exactly.
Making it a
they
more
notoriously
fun game.
do not want
so
that.
they can dunk.
I know they don't want it. Hell, there was a mob here at the CRC headquarters, the world headquarters,
cheering me on.
They weren't cheering. There were many
That's not what I heard.
symbols that were flying, axes and farm implements. Oh my God, it was a bad scene. Yeah, his wife wouldn't talk to him for a week. It was a bad scene. Yeah.
Random texter says the WNBA is so terrible. It seems that some of the players would rather be in jail than play. No. Boogie says
she's not there on purpose, but okay.
You think she asked, can I stay here another month?
Just don't let me out.
Boogie says playing in the WNBA is like playing in the NBA. If the NBA was played in like a foot of water.
Wow.
And that's why there will not be any interview with me and any WNBA player on this show. It's fine.
What if we send you out to the arena with a mobile recording?
There you go. Let's get him live out there.
MRU, and you can join us live on the show. And there you would have the whole team. You would have your pick of the team.
Here's what you need. You need an app
just
on your
walk
phone.
into the damn locker room and see how that goes.
Well, that would be fair though.
It would be fair.
It would be fair that a man walks into the women's locker room to interview players. All we need to do is you get your phone, and we have a microphone that hooks up to it. You put an app on your phone, and then you've got a microphone. You go in there and start. You can be live with us from there. And there's one other piece of equipment you'll need: a step stool. But outside of those things, I mean, okay, you don't need anything else. Your heart needs to be open to love.
Keon has learned a valuable lesson.
Boogerwolf says, you're telling me the slippy salamander hasn't weaseled his way into a woman's arms yet?
What are you talking about?
No,
Keon can have any woman he wants.
Well, not mine. He can't have mine.
Well,
get your own, Keon.
No,
keep your eyes on your own work, Keon.
No taken women, obviously. That's just
Keon's a ladies' man. He can handle it.
You're saying any woman. I'm thinking my woman. She's any woman.
No, obviously. I mean, not taken.
You better
women.
clarify. Just saying. Big George says Diamondbacks just lost 5-3 to the Dodgers. Be swept in a 4-game series. Thanks, Randy. Thanks for jinxing our hometown team.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. The Diamondbacks suck, and they're going to lose more games. Deal with it.
I don't know. The Diamondbacks had one of the worst batting averages in baseball before Randy said anything. This is not Randy's fault.
Yeah, well, the fourth dimension has found something. Now they're going to pick on me about it, so I will enjoy it. I will enjoy them picking on. Call me Eeyore. Go ahead.
No, he's picking on Keon.
The Randy White jinx is in effect. Go ahead. Yeah.
Blissful A says, I wish Keon well with his date with that WNBA player. See, there's nothing but good wishes for you and what's her name. All right, we must take a break. When we come back, we got more NBA stuff to talk about and maybe even WNBA stuff. Hey, I can change. Keon. Yeah, no, I can't change. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Business people like it straight and to the point. So here it is. Bruce Jacobs here to tell you take control of your utility expenses by calling Harmon Solar right now. They can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Level your energy costs. Protect yourself from inflation. How's that for straight and to the point? Here's more. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
Come join the fun as Kasai Japanese Steakhouse presents its first annual Fire and Fairways charity golf tournament. Monday morning, June 6th at Silverado Golf Club in Scottsdale. Proceeds go to support Arizonans for Children, helping foster kids since 2002. Entry is just $150, includes contests, prizes, raffles, plus a fabulous lunch and drink celebration at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale. You can help. They need sponsors, golfers, and prize donations. And you can win a 2-year car lease from Coulter Cadillac. Go to fireandfairways.com. That's fireandfairways.com today.
If you're worried about your investments, you're not alone. These are challenging times, but it's not time to panic. It's time to act.
Hello, I'm Mo Ansari, founder and president of Compact Asset Management. With over 40 years of experience in the financial markets, I've seen what panic, indecision, and bad advice can do to investments. When markets are up, especially when they're down, it is important to be decisive yet balanced. That's our approach at Compact Asset Management. Call my office today at pound 250 and say, talk to Mo. We will discuss a proactive, balanced approach to your portfolio that can help safeguard your investments and keep you on track with your financial goals. Call pound 250 on your cell phone and say, talk to Mo, and let's create a strategy for your investments today. Again, from your cell phone, call pound 250 and say, talk to Mo.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor, funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA, SIPC.
We just can't help it. We have to do it. It's in our DNA. At 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, we have to bring you the most epic moments in sports. NCAA football, NASCAR racing, Arizona Rapids football, golf, Vegas Raiders, March Madness, NFL playoffs, and the Super Bowl. Yeah, we can't help it. We are 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. All right, let's clean up this text line so we can get moving on to the next thing there. Joe the Show says, you see, I made up my mind when I was 17. I ain't with no marriage and a wedding ring. I be a player for life, so where is my wife? Probably stuck at the rehab, stuck on. I don't understand this at all. What are those lyrics to?
Can't help you.
No. Thanks, Joe. Ukla says, speaking of wives, 32 married years today with my wife. And yes, as you've guessed, she is a saint. Oh, congratulations.
Well,
Ukla.
congratulations to you. Fantastic.
32 years of making another person miserable. Well done, Ukla.
No, wait, I don't think he said that. Yeah.
If this woman is married to Ukla and she is a saint, then you don't think those have been happy years, do you?
Oh, I'm sure.
With Ukla?
Well, yeah. I mean,
have you ever heard his
anybody
text?
Who would marry Ukla and wants to stay with him are doing so willingly?
I don't know. You know those guys that they take the barbed wire and they whip themselves with it, and the stigmata thing, and then
wire,
and they poke holes in their hands. What's that called? It's not called stigmata. It's
stupid.
No, you know what I'm talking about. That religious thing that they do.
The self flagellation.
Yeah. That's
self-flatulate. I just had some of that.
His wife is self-flatulating, and poor lady. But yeah, congratulations to you, Ukla, for 32 years. I don't know what kind of condolences we need to send her. Fed Fan says, shoot, I'm embarrassed of you guys. We know. Watermelon says, he's lying, Jeffrey. I have the fourth dimension on my LinkedIn. Fanatic is there. Really? There's a fourth dimension entry on LinkedIn?
Okay. It could just be I don't know how to use LinkedIn. I hate using it. I never liked using it. And as soon as I could not use it, I don't.
Mm-hmm. Well, you should keep your LinkedIn updated. Keon.
Probably.
It is updated.
No, I mean,
it says I work for CRC Broadcast.
Like a weekly basis, maybe. Make sure it's all updated.
Okay.
Just saying.
Thunder Snow
another week says, how about DeAndre Ayton for Karl Anthony Towns? That'd make Booker happy.
No,
would it? It would make me very unhappy. But I'm not a big fan of Karl Anthony Towns. I really.
Wasn't it Karl Anthony Towns we just talked about yesterday, Keon and Jeffrey, the guy that had stem cell rejuvenation on his knees, his elbow, his pancreas, his thigh muscle, his belly button. I mean, had all these things that were happening.
He got a hold of some aborted babies. And he injected their cells into every part of him that hurt.
Boy, this show just went really dark.
Isn't that how that works? Isn't that what that is?
The last thing that Jimmy Butler said when he was last playing for the Timberwolves is these guys are soft. And he meant the whole team, including Karl Anthony Towns. I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan.
Hefty Lefty says, I thought Keon had a significant other. Why would he use LinkedIn? Well, first off, LinkedIn is for professionals. I don't mean hookers. I mean jobs. And Keon is a man about town. Things have changed. He's a man about town. Hey, ladies, the line starts right there.
Oh my God.
In front of Keon. Eddie V says WNBA. And then he says in all caps, we need Brittany acquitted. Griner, not Spears, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, King and Kittens, we know. Diamondbacks lost. Yeah, get the hell out of LA fast as you can. Just get on the plane, come home. Fish Tank says, I just love that Lost Toby was checking Keon's LinkedIn. I thought it was a joke, and then Keon started panicking.
I didn't panic. I was just saying.
You guys are out there checking our LinkedIns? That is kind of weird.
A little bit.
I'm going to give you that.
It wasn't a panic. I was just explaining. That's why I don't have 1580 on there. I
guarantee he's going to check that crap tonight.
What is there to check? Unless someone logged in for me, which I should probably check that, but I should have gotten a notification.
Oh, now he's going to start claiming I was hacked.
No, I'm not going to claim that because I haven't looked at it since I moved here.
Mm-hmm. Moist One says lacrosse sounds like something you would order in Montreal's red light district. Let's see. Rye Guy says, oh my God, the WNBA sucks. Boogie says, if Keon does a live interview remote, can the fourth dimension go and cheer him on in the background?
No,
yes.
Because it's not happening, because I'm not going to interview WNBA players on a show. Literally,
are you disobeying a direct order?
The last text you just read.
Are you disobeying a direct order? Best get on the LinkedIn tonight, Keon.
Am I being ordered to do this?
Wow.
I didn't realize it was an order up until now.
Yeah, well, it might become one.
Well, let me know when that happens.
Fighting Wampus says, hey, Randy, I blame the Diamondbacks sweep on Friday the 13th, actually.
Mm-hmm. I know.
They didn't play the Dodgers on Friday.
Right. That's exactly right.
Did they?
And nobody took
I don't believe they did.
About Friday the damn 13th.
They played
nobody
the day
believes
after.
me at this radio station about Friday. You know who believes me about Friday the 13th?
Nobody.
Radio Ron.
No,
he
he
was
doesn't.
not even in the office.
I'm saying
he owns the place. He can come and go as he pleases. I don't think that had anything to do with Friday the 13th.
They
I'm
played
pretty sure
Sunday.
it's because it
They
was
had
Friday the
a
13th.
doubleheader
I think
yesterday.
that had to do with a Friday a 5th, if you know what I mean. You know,
well, that's his. Yeah. Well, that's his club meeting day.
Yeah. Gorilla Toe says Saint Bernard.
Cornhole.
Okay. Baker's Cocky Hen says, when did Randy start managing the Diamondbacks and picking the players? All I see is support for a crap team that doesn't support the Valley by spending any money. I'm surprised they haven't just left the roof open and let the grass die already.
What do you mean? Well, first of all, the grass is synthetic, so it's not going to die. They could leave the roof open all they want to. It's enormously hot, and it turns into a giant tin can if you leave the hot air in there. Number two, when did I say I was managing the team? I wasn't managing the team.
No, Randy.
If I was managing the damn team, guess what? We wouldn't have the players that we have right now on
Randy.
there. We'd have a whole slew of guys that can play this game. And let me
He's
tell you
sticking
something
up for
else.
you, Randy.
What?
He's sticking up for you, Randy. He says, when did Randy start managing the Diamondbacks and picking the players? He says, all I see. So he was saying, don't blame Randy. We're not blaming Randy like he's managing or picking players.
Okay.
Only thing George was saying is that Randy was pretty down on the Diamondbacks and pretty depressed about it on Monday and Tuesday. A lot of it was more because of the Suns. It was sort of a collateral damage thing. But so Baker's Cocky Hens actually sticking up for you, I think, Randy. Saying blame the team. Don't blame Randy.
Well, I do appreciate that. I'm sorry for that outburst. I just had. Thank you, Baker's Cocky.
Give that man a whiskey. I think you owe it to him. Lost Toby says, sounds like Keon is just full of excuses. I didn't check. I just guess. Let's see here. Keon lied. I put the Fanatic on my LinkedIn.
Well, I didn't lie. It just means I don't know how to use LinkedIn.
Yeah,
I'm just bad at
Lost
using
Toby has his jobs. I won't say what his jobs are on here, but actually they're impressive. But then at the top it says future Hall of Fame correspondent 1580 Fanatic. You might want to capitalize Fanatic though for me. That's the only thing I'm going to ask for it. And it says under contract. Wait a minute. It says he's been doing it for a month. What?
Lost Toby, you go.
So you could put 1580 the Fanatic on there if you wanted to.
Okay. If I remember to log in, I'll do that. Cause I when I tried to do it, I couldn't do it. It would not let me, like I would type it in, but it wouldn't,
right.
It wouldn't stay on the thing. I mean, it's not an excuse if I literally couldn't do it.
No, that's all right. Fine.
All right, no, please, please, no, please. You tell me
No,
what
it's
I was
okay.
doing on the website, and I'll just back off.
It's fine.
Just
whatever works.
Just passive aggressive.
Booker Wolf says, imagine this, boys, a horde of Washington cheerleaders grazing on the turf. Then all of a sudden, in unison, they all look back at you over their right shoulder. Man, that would scare a hungry pack of pit bulls away.
Man, don't talk about women that way, man. I don't know. I was just raised that's not.
What makes you think that the cheerleaders are women? It's Washington. It might be a bunch of dudes.
Well, it's not.
I mean, I've seen the games. I thought they did have dudes.
Yeah, the players, not the cheerleaders, which is what he said. And I don't.
Booker Wolf, leave those cheerleaders alone.
Those are just people, man. I don't know. I just don't like it.
Hefty Lefty says the Suns obviously need to sign Pat Beverly to back up CP3. Those practices would be incredible. Practices, post press conferences.
I can't even imagine. Just for the sheer fun of it, James Jones should make that happen. He should make that happen.
Fish Tank says Suns collapse in Game 7. Cardinals fold like a lawn chair in a playoff game. Coyotes were the second worst team in hockey, but got the third pick. The Diamondbacks. Yeah, what the hell's going on out there? Nothing new.
I have nothing to say. I mean, the Diamondbacks are who we thought they were.
It is what it is, guys. Hope for better days. That's all you can do. Bruno Baller says, I'd like to ask Randy if it's possible to make a baked potato in a smoker.
Yes, it is. You just have to kind of put the potato in there. I would do like you would if you put it in an oven. I would pierce the potato and make sure it doesn't explode on you. What I like to do is take a little garlic, some of that fresh garlic, some butter, maybe some parsley, and some salt and pepper, and I throw that in there in the aluminum foil, and then I wrap it up. I put it off the heat. So that it sits there and it just kind of it goes. And you put that on first, and generally about an hour or so, you've got a beautiful baked potato.
Point of order. You have a question?
Yeah. Jeffrey O'Brien, 1580 Fanatic.
I have this question, then a follow-up question.
What's your question?
Did you say the potatoes might explode?
Yeah, if you don't pierce them,
right?
Because they get hot and they start to, they might.
Promise?
Yeah.
Okay. Second, does a smoker have a window on it?
No.
Then that's no good. I want to see it happen. I want to see a potato explode.
Well, then what I advise you to do, since you want to see, I want you to get a nice big russet potato, Jeffrey. Are you taking notes? A big russet potato. I want you to go downstairs, put it in the microwave. I want you to put it on for, 45 minutes. And then I want you to watch what happens.
Will it break the glass?
From a little distance?
Perhaps.
Well, see, I don't want to break the glass. I was hoping the smoker had some sort of tempered glass so I could see it explode.
No.
So here's what I got to do. I have to go and buy a really cheap used microwave, maybe even go to Goodwill or something, get like a $20 microwave, plug it in at a distance in the yard, and then put my potato in there. I just want to see a potato explode.
And just don't stand in front of the door.
I don't got a whole lot of years left on this planet. I'd like to see a potato explode. That's all I'm saying.
Says the man who's 50 years old talking to the man who's 60 years old.
Well, we both have, some good years left. I'm just saying we have less than we used to.
Honestly, you have not seen a potato explode in the microwave.
No, I'm pretty good about following directions when I cook stuff.
Wow. I've seen I've seen an egg explode. I've seen a potato explode. I've seen a hot dog explode. Yeah.
Well, I got to do this. I'm going to do this. Big George says the Diamondbacks won on Friday the 13th, Randy. So that can't be used as an excuse. Everybody just needs to embrace Randy's jinx of the Diamondbacks. It's real, and embrace his Eeyore demeanor. That's it's just a true thing.
Yeah. Embrace it, everybody. I love it.
Just everybody who's ever played the Dodgers, who's going to play the Dodgers this year. There's always an Eeyore out there, and that's the reason why they're losing to the Dodgers. Not because the Dodgers are just really damn good, because they paid for a team that's really damn good.
Joe the Show says, besides LinkedIn, Keon also doesn't know how to use two Playboy billionaire philanthropists wingmen at his side. Randy, Jeffrey, we all know this is a side gig for tax write-off. So which islands is the real dough at? You'll never know. You'll never know.
Sort of can't say that.
It's more dangerous for us if we were to say. If we don't say, we live another day. If we tell you, things get real crazy real fast. So you'll never know. Fed Fan says if the Cards or Suns ever win a championship, pretty sure Armageddon follows soon after. God, I hope not.
Well, the Cardinals and the Suns and the Diamondbacks, by the way, have won championships. It may have been the NFC championship. It may have been the Western Conference championship. It may have been, the World Series. But there have been championships in this town. Oh, and by the way, the Rattlers have won 6 world championships. The WNBA's Phoenix Mercury, I believe they've won 3 world championships.
My Colts have some participation trophy banners too, and I wish they didn't.
We don't have any participation trophy banners.
You do. So do
we actually don't.
All you need are Super Bowl. You need the Larry O'Brien trophy.
Yeah.
You need the Stanley Cup, and you need a World Series trophy. We only have one of those here in Phoenix. Don't come at us with division championships. And nobody cares about that. Nobody feels good about that. Nobody feels good that the Suns won the Western Conference Finals last year. Nobody cared. All we know is they lost the finals last year.
Well, you can't say nobody. I care. I think it was a great accomplishment for the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. It's to say, hey, look, we're a winning team. And listen, we're a winning team again this year. We broke records this year.
Absolutely horrible to winning the Western Conference Championship. Nobody saw that.
Feel good about
it. You can't tell me.
Feel good about it, but don't dine out on it. Feel good about it, but don't brag about it. It's like, hey, we didn't win it. We didn't win nothing.
If you win a championship, Armageddon is soon to follow.
You know, Fed Fan meant she means a Super Bowl. She means the NBA Finals. That's what she means. And that's what we all mean. We all want to win the big one. We're not here for Western Conference Finals or NFC Championship or any of that other stuff. You're here for the whole thing, damn it.
No, I get you.
Just can't dine out on the other stuff. Can't do it.
But having been called Eeyore, I do look at the positives. Eeyore does look at the damn positives.
He is trying. He is trying, guys. But I know. No, that one bugs me. That one bugs me, though. Finding Wampa says, hey, Randy, you forgot to mention you've watched the Suns implode. Oh, that ain't right. Watermelon says,
Suns implode?
Jeffrey, Google this first for a cool microwave experience. You get a grape, you cut it into quarters, you put the grape in the microwave with a shot glass over the top of it. You turn the microwave on and boom, plasma energy. I'll have to get another. I'll probably get a handful of used microwaves. Yeah. Hamilton Porter says, Randy, on the bright side for you, despite all our great teams this millennium, the Diamondbacks have still won a World Series more recently than the Detroit Tigers. We'll take that. Boogie says, I saw a gremlin explode in a microwave once. Randy, don't let these chuckleheads get to you. They're a bunch of Gumbletonians.
Gumbletonians.
Grumbletonians.
Grumbletonians.
That's a new one. I don't think I've ever heard that one before. Grumbletonians. I'm going to see if I can work that in a sentence with
We're not getting very far with today's show, are we?
No, we're not.
I'm still sitting.
I wonder what we spent a lot of time talking about.
This is my first pile right here, and we haven't gotten past it. So maybe we should make an effort. I don't know.
Okay.
When we come back, we'll be talking about something else. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
Public service announcement from Summit Male Medical. Guys often confuse erectile dysfunction with low testosterone. They are two different issues with two separate treatments. ED is simply a blood flow issue. Low T is a health issue. Symptoms include lack of muscle mass, gaining a few pounds, low energy, irritability, low libido. At Summit Medical, we treat both because we're experts at both. We've been here in the Valley since 2008. We've treated tens of thousands of patients, not only from here, but all over the country, coming to us specifically. And compare our pricing with others. We are the low price leaders. And combine that with the most experienced staff in the business for ED and PE treatments, and that is an unbeatable combination. We dare you to compare. Please do. So if you're having intimacy issues, please let us show you how we can help you tomorrow if you call today. 480-398-1000 or go to summitmalemedical.com. It will be the best call you ever make.
Think you know about meth? Think again. Today's methamphetamine is far more potent, more addictive, and more deadly than ever before. Today's meth is often laced with the deadly drug fentanyl. In fact, deaths from meth use have doubled in Arizona. What can you do? Get the facts at thenewmeth.com. and know there's hope and resources for recovery. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Live and local.
It's Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and I think we need a reset here. We need a palate cleanser. And I think what we need to do, we've been poking at the Keon Bear for the last hour and 42 minutes. I say we poke a little harder. We find out right here, right now. Okay, Keon, other than us.
Oh, boy.
What is in Keon's craw?
Well, it's the U.S. Soccer Federation.
Okay, and listen, I said palate cleanser. I didn't say Boris to death.
I understand, and we're not really going to talk about the soccer. Okay, this isn't necessarily about what goes on the pitch, as they say. This is about what goes on between the men's team and the women's team in U.S. soccer.
Hey, what happens between the men's team and the women's team? They are consenting adults.
Hold on.
I think that they want to get together and get them on. That is nobody's business, and that should be allowed. I can't believe there's a rule against fraternization between the women's soccer team and the men's soccer team.
Jeffrey, I don't think that's it.
I don't
even think. You can't stop love, Keon.
I don't think that's a rule. I don't know about it.
But what the hell are you going on about?
Either what we're going on about today, right now, is that the U.S. Soccer Federation has decided to pay the women equal to what the men make. And, it's a kind of about damn time. This is something that's been a fight that the women's team has been pushing back on, that the U.S. Soccer Federation was paying them less. They wouldn't disclose what the pay gap was, but it's embarrassing that there was a pay gap in the first place. The U.S. women's soccer team has been more productive than the men's soccer team. They have won more World Cups. They have been more dominant. And when they're on TV, the women's game is a bigger draw because, they're actually winning. They were actually going out there and kicking ass and representing the U.S. and representing the U.S. really well. Meanwhile, the men, the last World Cup, if I recall correctly. Oh, wait, they didn't make the World Cup. They didn't even go. They didn't even qualify. And finally, things have changed on that front a little bit better. So hopefully we'll have some dignity coming back our way. But this is not something that I'm necessarily proud of. I am happy for those women and what they were able to accomplish by eventually pressuring the U.S. Soccer Federation into doing the right thing. But let's be completely honest. It shouldn't have taken this long. It shouldn't have been anywhere near as contentious as it was. It shouldn't have been protests. It shouldn't have been we're going to the media. It should have been a recognition that, hey, these groups of people, the men and the women, are representing our country, and that should be equal. That shouldn't have a pay gap to it. We're not talking about the difference in the NBA and the WNBA and the eyeballs there. But even if we were, then you'd have to pay the women more based on the draw that they wind up getting when they play. But they finally did it. So on one side, I'm happy. But what really sticks in my craw is that it took this damn long in the first place.
No, I agree 100%. But see, I'm going to base it on
ratings, popularity, and results. I'm not going to say that men and women in sports. Okay, take out the men and the women. I'm not going to say any sports have players that should be played equally. They shouldn't be paid equally. Like minor leaguers don't get paid the same as major leaguers. Certain sports that have higher draws get paid more. NBA players get paid more than anybody. You get baseball players, most of them make a minimum wage for the league. So, you can't treat all sports equally because there is a performance and an interest, basis for what these people should be paid. But 100% right. If the women's soccer team is doing better than the men's soccer team, the hell with equal. They should just get more. They should get, paid at a level that is represented by their success.
I just think that with the soccer federation, this is more than just a TV interest thing. That this is, you're trying to grow the game in your sport. And to say to one group of people, when you play soccer, it's not as equal as when other people play soccer, doesn't make any sense. If you want little girls to grow up and be soccer players so we can continue to kick ass, guess what? You got to pay. That's just a fact. This isn't like those other leagues because they are their own separate entities. U.S. Soccer Federation represents the men and the women's game, and they're not just a business. They're here as part of the greater, world soccer movement. And as far as that game goes,
I'll just think of it completely unbiased towards men or women. Who's performing better? Who has more interest? What's making more money? And that is how you decide how to pay somebody. I mean, that to me, just I can put the blinders on to whether you're a male or a female and say, this is working. This is not working. This is deserving of a raise. This is not. And based on that, the women should have been paid better a long time ago.
I just
you're
think
absolutely right about that.
This is because they play professionally, and what happens professionally and the gap there, that's going to be based on interest. The Soccer Federation, this is about people putting on the jersey to represent America. That shouldn't even be a business decision. That should be, let's try and find the best people and find the best way to have them represent us. I think that business side is more for, the WSL, the Women's Soccer League, as opposed to the MLS and stuff like that. When it comes to the Soccer Federation, we shouldn't have a gap there.
I didn't understand that part because I don't care about soccer.
Which is fair.
Now that you've explained it, here, I agree with you. Now, as far as everyone else, if there is interest, there will be money. I think the WNBA, as they get more interest, as there's investment in the WNBA to try to bring that sport, to a higher level, then so will the paychecks follow. And I think, then that's how it should be. But you're right. There has to be investment in a sport for people to find out that it exists and
that it's possible for them to play it and make a living doing it.
So here's the thing. At least I know it exists. I mean, we're not going to talk about WNBA yet, but I mean,
but it's there, and they're trying to market it. And look, I give. It's weird, but you got to give Steph Curry a lot of credit. That the 3-point
Do you want
shooting,
to talk about the WNBA on this show?
No, I'm not. Not on this show. No, it's not.
Well, I mean, no. Listen, maybe you can reach a new audience and you can make a case for them. We just have no interest in the WNBA, to be honest. I mean, I know Dale from the morning show; he likes the WNBA.
Yeah, I mean, look, if there's a space for me to bring it up,
I'll tell you what. If you want to do a quick segment on some WNBA stuff to help give them some exposure and make a case for them, for the super fans of the Fourth Dimension and the listeners of 15A the Fanatic. Randy and I will open that door for you. We will not clown on you while that happens.
Okay. I'm in.
I mean, we'll probably walk off the set, but
and the jokes might fly after.
I don't know, Randy. Do you think that we can be good people about this? Give it a chance. I mean, it's not soccer, so at least it's a sport, right?
We could totally respect Keon enough to allow him to create something and talk about the WNBA as a segment on here. Why not?
All right. So you think about that, Keon. We promise. And it's funny because in all sorts of areas of life, the term don't put your pearls before swine has come up. We promise not to be swine to your pearls. If you want to do a quick and I don't mean a full segment. But you want to do a quick WNBA thing, And maybe even just, hey, let's root on the home team. If you center it around the Phoenix Mercury, then thumbs up.
That sounds good to me.
And is anybody opposed to that?
No.
Okay.
Well, I can't speak for the fourth dimension.
We'll find out.
Yeah. You didn't have to ask. They'll answer.
The other thing about this is not a democracy. So they don't get a vote in this. We'll do what we want. If they don't like it, then they do what they want. 888-368-1580. Good Cat says 100% agree with Keon's craw. But Booger Wolf says Keon is softer than Luca's underarms. Salamander ass foo.
Why? I don't know what that means. I still don't
understand. He attacks us all equally, nonsensically, quite a bit.
I wish one day I'll understand the salamander thing. I really will.
No, you were salamander ass foo.
That's I've been upgraded actually.
Is it?
Because I was just a regular salamander before. I don't know what changed, but sure.
Thanks, Burger Wolf. Santa's number one helper says, I've got 3 young girls. We watch some WNBA. I don't mind hearing it. Baker's Cocky Hen says, at least make it a WNBA gambling segment so we can make some money off this crap nobody wants to watch.
I could mention the lines and
put
the
some
odds
lines
and,
in there
and
and
the movement. Yeah.
Again, I'm not trying to be funny. Can you bet on the WNBA?
You can bet on the WNBA.
Yes,
yeah,
it's actually in our app.
No, it's actually it's a sport that because a lot of people don't bet it, a lot of bettors like it because the information's a little fuzzier, so you can kind of find where the information doesn't line up with stuff, and then make a bet that actually benefits you a lot.
Fish Tank says, Keon, you should do like a best bet on the WNBA. I don't care about curling or ping pong or another bunch of pretend sports, but if I can gamble on it, suddenly I'm interested. All right, so here it is.
Add the betting stuff to it.
We're going to have WNBA, really more Phoenix Mercury. I'm asking for that.
Yeah.
A Phoenix Mercury segment plus the betting lines. So there you go. Thank you, Fish Tank. That's a good idea. That'll help round out the thing, The Phoenix Mercury, they're good, right?
They are good. Yeah, they were in the title last year. They lost to the Chicago Sky, but they were there.
Nondescript says, as long as it's scheduled at the same time each time, because you want to hear it every time. Next text: who couldn't use a scheduled bathroom break? Well, that's just not very polite. That's not nice. Yeah. Hefty Lefty says, I believe Ass Foo is a modern martial art practiced by Kardashian clan and Cardi B. Oh, okay.
that makes me a little more confused, honestly.
Makes more sense to me.
Right.
Ass foo. All right.
Booger Wolf says Suns are going to trade DeAndre Ayton for Jeffrey's mom. 15 rebounds a night. All right. See, he just attacked me. And my mom.
Which is why.
My mom, she's an old lady. She'll whip your ass, Booger Wolf. Fed Fan says, I played 3 years varsity girls basketball, and even I don't want to hear about the WNBA. Oh, come on. Fed Fan is a lady. Come on, give a little support here. We're trying to grow and evolve here as men, and now you're just throwing that at us. It's mixed messages. I'm not going to lie to you, Fed Fan. It's mixed messages.
Fed Fan has said before that she doesn't care about the WNBA, though. This isn't the first time.
No, I'm just saying she's a lady. Prison Wallet says, is dining on the Suns falling short victory this year entertainment? Get out. I keep saying don't dine on the Suns. Lost Toby says, this is Lost Toby, field correspondent for 1580 The Fanatic, reporting live from the rabbit holes of YouTube. And yes, I can confirm potatoes will explode in an oven or microwave if you don't shank them before applying heat. This has been Lost Toby, field correspondent with 1580 The Fanatic.
Nobody believes me.
No, I believed you.
Why doesn't anybody take my word?
No, Randy, I totally believe you. I just want to see it. I want to actually experience it for myself. I never said I didn't believe you. Trust me, I believe you. Big George says, I'm all for you guys doing a WNBA segment. It'll give me time to go to the bathroom, do some business, catch up on the news.
George.
Come on, guys. Come on. I challenge you all to just give it a shot. Keon Rose will come in here and he will make it so damn entertaining. It'll be popping. And you won't be able to take your ears off it. He's going to make it a spectacular. It will have everything you want and more. I guarantee it. More, because Keon Rose, he's going to come in and entertain the pants off you. That's right. He's going to dazzle you with WNBA-ness. Yeah, he's going to capture your hearts, your minds, your imaginations, might I say your souls.
Wow.
It's a tall order,
wow.
But, yeah, I'm up for it. Don't give up on this. Everybody give it a fair shot. That's all we're asking. Fish Tank says, I looked up what salamander is slang for it. It says street acrobat who eats fire. So yeah, I'm still totally confused. That doesn't make it any clearer at all. At all. Aiton's Army says, hey guys, not sure if it was brought up already, but Luka Doncic was pictured having a beer this morning at San Francisco restaurant. Big bet on his points tonight. So if he has a beer in the morning, you're saying he's going to have 50 points tonight? Shouldn't that line go the other way? Fill us in on how that works, Aiton's Army. I'm curious about that. Let's take a break. We'll come back and more of this Daily Blender nonsense right here on 1580 The Fanatic.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Hey guys, it's Stephen McCollum from the Main Event here on 1580 The Fanatic. And join me 1 to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. Suns offseason has had a rocky start. I'll keep you updated as news comes out. NBA conference finals are underway and NFL OTAs have begun. Season prediction rankings are coming out for the NFL. NHL playoffs resume. I'll get you the latest in Major League Baseball and Diamondback news. So join me, Stephen McCollum, on the Main Event Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. on 1580 99.3 FM, The Fanatic.
Hello, Discover here to explain our cash back match. Here's how it works. We give you cash back for using your Discover card on the things you were going to buy anyway. Then we match that cash back in your first year. And that's why we call it cash back match. Now to recap and say cash back one more time. We match all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year automatically. Discover, exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply.
Learn how thousands of smart homeowners are investing about $1 to avoid expensive home repair bills. John, a former non-customer, said, my air conditioner broke and I had to spend $1,900 to fix it. Jeff, a customer, wrote, my air conditioner broke and I got a new one at no out-of-pocket cost. Mary, a former non-customer, wrote, my heating system stopped running. I had to spend $3,000 to get a new one. Lisa, a customer, wrote, my heater stopped working. I got it fixed at no out-of-pocket cost. For about $1 a day, you can have all the major appliances and systems in your home guaranteed fixed or replaced with HSC's home warranty coverage. Call now, and the first month is free. If the lines are busy, please call back.
800-657-5714. 800-657-5714. 800-657-5714. That's 800-657-5714.
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canier with a phenomenal opportunity to tap into some of your home equity, earning tax-free income and eliminating your mortgage payment while staying in your home as long as you want. With home prices leveling off, don't wait to learn more about the new reverse mortgage. This is a safe and proven money-saving and tax-free income opportunity for homeowners age 62 and older. Call me, Reverse Rob, and learn more today at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. This is KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White.
Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studio in Scottsdale. Santa's number one helper is upset because 1580 and 99.3 FM don't work under the car deck tunnel. Sorry, just like about a minute. You know, it's not that long to get to be under there. And hopefully pretty soon the AM will be able to be heard under there without any problems, but we're getting there. 888-368-1580. Let's get caught up on the text line so we can talk about what's going on tonight with the Golden State Warriors and the Dallas Mavericks.
No, you said it right the first time.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought. Remember when we first started talking about the series between the Mavericks and the Suns, I said, you got Luka and some other guys. And I thought, well, okay, there's not a real team there, so the Suns should be able to handle that pretty easily. Well, the other guys turned out to not be that bad. And when you start trying to double or triple Luka, even if you are a so-so player, you're going to start to do some things.
And NBA players make open shots. I mean, that's just even the worst NBA player you can think of. If you leave that guy open, they're just going to make open shots, and they knock them down.
But I'm still intrigued by this Aiton's Army text where he shows a picture of Luka having a beer at about 11 a.m. In San Francisco. And keep in mind, Dallas is in a different time zone so 11 a.m. for Luka. That really means it was like noon or 1 p.m. or something. But still, on game day, he's kind of spongy soft, and he's sitting there having a beer. Now you know where his sponginess comes from. But why would you think he might drop 50 tonight because of that? And Ayton said, big bet on his points tonight. I'd like a little more on that. Or has he been seen having a beer in the past and then had a big night? That's intriguing. I hope you're wrong, because I want Luka to lose.
So here's the thing. Apparently the Luka Doncic beer photo, old picture.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, good. Then maybe he'll have 12 points tonight. Sure. Number one Rattlers fan. I can't read that. I'm not doing that one. By the way, number one Rattlers fan, now that you're listening, Randy wants to go to a Rattlers game with you. So we got to set this up. Randy and his wife want to go to a Rattlers game with you because he knows you know your stuff. So let's make that happen. Lost Toby says, I love me some tall women. I'm in on the WNBA report from Keon Rose. Heckler Jones says, so Keon quit softball? When did you play softball?
I wasn't playing softball.
You're thinking of someone else, Heckler. Fed fan says, you guys cannot have my soul. Well, I'm just.
He said maybe.
Well, okay. Might. There's other things.
You can keep it if you want it. I'm not.
Since you insist.
Not reading that one, Burger Wolf. Hefty Lefty says, any odds on the next country to follow suit with the USSF? My money is on Japan. That's the other country where the women consistently outperform the men in big competitions. I don't know what the USSF is.
The U.S. Soccer Federation. Paying the men and women equally.
What's the second S for? Oh, United States Soccer Federation. Oh, sorry. It's been a long day. Good Cat says, if Keon's WNBA segment wows my pants off, I feel bad for the people around me. It won't be a pretty sight. Well, then that's your problem. That's a you problem. Big George says, I'm with Fed fan. I don't give a damn about the WNBA, but I am for women's participation in sports and equal pay. I don't mean I got to watch it and listen to it. Yeah, it's good enough for the good pay. It should be good enough to watch. Baker's Cocky Hens says, Doncic is European. I think they drink alcohol at every meal. Explains why it looks like Shrek mixed with donkey.
That'll do, donkey.
Still better than Ayton. So, and he says, if Bruce Jacobs thinks he sucks, he has to be great. I think he sucks. I just don't like his smug face. He's a good player. Just seriously, I'm not going to not respect his good player ability. But I just want to put these big knuckles right into that big spongy face of his.
And sometimes, look, it depends on who the players. They're just some players. You can respect them, you can appreciate them, but the way that they the way that they move about things, the way that they are, the what they give off, it rubs people the wrong way sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with that. They can still respect Luka as a ball player. He's amazing.
The Jet says, "Hey, I always drink a beer on game day at 11 o'clock in the morning." Well, what do you?
I always drink a beer at 11 o'clock in the morning, whether it's game day or not.
Well, my whiskey is for medicinal purposes, so don't judge me. Santa's number one helper says, after a few beers, me and my wife, we have a big night. You know, really? Well, good for you. You gotta be careful with that alcohol. Sometimes it has the opposite effect of your desired results, if you know what I mean. But good on you. Almost exclusively says, I hear Baker's Cocky Hens is the WNBA gambling expert. Could be. Fed Fan says, I think that texter was thinking of my softball experience. I played both sports in high school and played softball in junior college. Fed Fan, she's all around athlete. She really is. Bugger Wolf says Keon only likes the WNBA because those are the only players that he could beat basketball. LOL.
Wow.
I don't know.
I don't think he could beat a WNBA.
Yeah, I don't think I can.
No.
I'm sorry. I've
Nothing personal, Keon, but I don't think you can.
I played basketball at the gym one time when I was in Tennessee. I was just there just playing, and I wound up in this pickup game with one of the best girls high school players in the state. Yeah. I couldn't stop her from scoring. She took any shot she wanted. She wanted to shoot threes. She shot threes and made them. She wanted to go to the basket. Me and my crappy old knees. She went around me. I mean, it was. Have some respect for what these athletes can do. You may not enjoy watching the game, but they can play.
Baker's Cocky Hen says Luka is turning into the stocky basketball version of Tom Brady.
You think so?
I guess body wise, yeah. And then he says, down with Cali. Wait, what? What? Why? Just no. Okay. Listen, generally, yes, beat LA is the mantra, but we're talking about the Golden State Warriors. They're in San Francisco area, and the Mavericks are they're from Dallas, Texas. So, and the Mavericks just beat the Suns. So, of course, we want to see another team squash them. So, no down with Cali today. Now it's this is the good Cali. This is the Cali you don't have to feel bad about supporting. Really? That's why I'm rooting for the Golden State Warriors tonight. I totally am. Are we all on the same page with that, or am I alone?
I just like the Warriors better. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be rooting for the Warriors. Yes.
And who on the Warriors do they not need? Who's a player they don't need? Because I want that player. Yeah, I want that player to start and punch Luka right in the face, and then he gets suspended. Automatically ejected, and then we just, continue the game.
Otto Porter.
Otto Porter needs to punch Luka Doncic square in the pudgy face, and I'll be happy.
So in the starting lineup, they have all the hoopla, the lights, and the smoke, and the rock band going, and all the people are screaming, and the cheerleaders out there. And then starting tonight at power forward, Otto, what was his name?
Otto Porter.
Otto Porter, and everybody scratched their heads like, what?
Mm-hmm. Who? If that happens, you know why he's starting.
And here's the tip, and bam, down goes Luka. Otto is already walking off the damn court.
Don't even make a play on the ball, just right there. Pow!
They could play that Lionel Richie song, "Hello," because he looks like him. So you just play that as he walks off the floor.
Otto Porter looks like Lionel Richie.
Yes.
No, you play dancing on the ceilings after he punches out Luka. Yeah, it's a celebration, man.
It is.
You go deep in the Commodore's albums. I don't care. Do this thing, man. Anyway, so let's talk about tonight's game. I've been thinking about it. I want the Golden State Warriors to win, but the thing that bothers me about this matchup is how much like the Golden State Warriors are like the Suns. And in some similarities, and the Dallas defense with the Warriors, the way they play, that is a concern. That is a concern. So tell me, Keon, how are the Mavericks going to match up with the Warriors, and how can we make sure the Warriors win?
Well, I think what separates the Warriors from the Suns is that they have guys that are the right size and speed to throw at Luka, so that you don't have to try and double him. I mean, obviously we know what Luka's going to do he's going to score regardless. But you don't if you don't have to try to double him, that means you can stay home on those shooters. And it means, by the way, that you can have somebody who can stay in front of Jalen Brunson too, because Jalen Brunson's different from those other Mavs. He's not just the shooter. Jalen Brunson's got handles. Jalen Brunson can get to the basket, and sure, he primarily likes to go to his left. But regardless of that, he's still capable of, putting on the handles, making people who have to stay in front of him look very stupid. And he's able to get open mid-range shots or get easy layups at the basket. So if you can get guys to stay one-on-one with Luka, one-on-one with Jalen, all of a sudden it's much easier to guard those shooters and they don't get going. Especially Dorian Finney-Smith. That's a guy that I think is truly dangerous. And if he sees one shot go in, the rest of them are going in. And that is just what I've seen from him in the Suns series and even in the series before. So it's about staying home on those shooters. And I think that having Draymond Green to throw at Luka, having Andrew Wiggins to throw at Luka, even having a guy who's a little bit bigger, but I think very flight of foot in Kevon Looney, who you can throw at Luka, to be able to just keep these matchups as one-on-ones, because that's where things I thought went really wrong for the Suns. They tried to double Luka until the very end, and it didn't work.
Where is Klay Thompson at right now? Is he brick-o-matic, or is he draining threes? Is he shooting well, or is he doing what I've accused of doing his entire career, and is bricking out at the wrong time?
He's a streaky shooter. He had that one game against Memphis, I think the last game, where they closed everything out, where he just couldn't miss. And he'll give you those games, but I don't like to rely on Klay Thompson right now, because I don't think from night to night which version of Klay you're going to get. The guy that can't hit water if he fell out of a boat in the ocean, or the guy that can hit everything. Just the bucket looks, like the size of a bathtub. He has those nights, and he's had both in this playoff run, where Klay used to be the number 2 option on that team. I don't think Klay is the number 2 guy every single night.
Nope, and not since the kid showed up.
No, you're going to have to look to Jordan Poole, I think, for a lot of that. But Klay's still quality, but it's just about knowing which Klay you're getting.
So which player on the Warriors is the worst ball handler? Because the Warriors had 19.2 turnovers per game over the last 6 games. The Grizzlies, if they had any kind of advantage, I'd say that was it. So they had 24 in one game. They had 22 in another. So they're turning the ball over more than the Suns did. So who's the one who's mostly responsible for that, I wonder? And, how can they get that under control against a tough Dallas defense who picked the pockets of the Suns quite a bit?
I don't know if it's a ball handling thing so much as a passing thing with the Warriors. They pass the ball a lot. That's the way that their offense moves when it's at its best, is when they're moving the ball around, trying to find a weak spot in your defense so that there's an open shooter. And I think that especially in that Memphis series, to be honest, they made some really stupid passes. Especially Klay and Andrew Wiggins. I thought some of the dumbest passes I've seen NBA guys make were in that series. I think they've got to tighten that up. Because if you make a stupid pass, and we've seen that. Chris Paul had some lazy passes against the Mavs. That didn't work out well. Devin Booker had some lazy passes. I mean, you've got to be very intentional and crisp with where you're trying to go with the basketball against this Mavs team. But I don't know if it's a ball handling thing. I think it's a passing thing.
So here's the basics on the betting. Hey, Randy, the over under 214.5. Looking at this game, I'm going to tell you, I'm thinking over. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the FanDuel Sportsbook app right now, and it says 216.5. So it's
okay.
The line's moved a bit.
I'll still go over.
So you're thinking of taking the over on this, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good bet. The way I think Dallas is going to be riding a huge wave of confidence, having defeated the number 1 seed. They're going into Golden State now, and they want to take down Golden State and steal that first game there in San Francisco or Oakland, Oakland, I guess. So, hey, I'll take the over on that.
All right. How about you, Keon? Over or under?
I'll take the over too. I think when you have 2 teams that are this offensively prolific meeting each other, there's still that familiarity, feeling each other out period of this series. I'm not really sure what the best way to defend you is. And, I think Luka's going to have a field day, because he always does. And the Warriors shoot the 3 ball really well. And I really think we're going to see better Steph this series. We have not seen, and this is scary to me, we haven't seen the best of Steph Curry this playoffs. that ought to tell you something. There to have. I think it is. I really think it is. Because he was taking good shots. He just wasn't making them. At some point, those shots are going down.
All right. So the money line is plus 180 for the Mavericks and a negative 220 for the Golden State Warriors. The spread at 5.5. Will the Mavericks be able to cover that spread?
At 5.5?
At 5.5.
Yeah, I think so.
So you think it'll be a close game at the end?
Yeah, I think Dallas will cover.
All right.
I don't think so.
888-368-1580. Keon thinks the Warriors are going to pull away from the Mavericks, eh?
In game one, yeah. I think that, and we saw this with Dallas, and I know they didn't have Luka for the first game in their first round series, but Dallas has been a step slow to start series. And I think that they keep things closer as the series goes along. This opening game, I just believe favors the Warriors a lot.
All right, so I'm going to let Fed Fan have her say. She's a true Warriors fan. And then when we come back from the break, I'll get to the rest of you guys. A lot of people have a lot to say about tonight's matchup. Fed Fan says Damian Lee needs to punch Luka. Porter's actually needed. And listen, the Warriors have Curry, Thompson, and Poole. These 3 guys are more consistent in making threes than the Suns were. I was thinking the same thing while Keon was talking. I was like, they've got better shooters. We have Devin Booker. And Chris Paul used to, occasionally Crowder will make a 3 and occasionally Crowder hits a brick. He was streakier than streaky too. And then maybe sometimes Cam Jordan, Campaign. I don't know. No, Campaign kind of fizzled out. So yeah,
a little bit.
Absolutely right. Fed Fan.
I'll agree with Fed Fan on the Damian Lee thing too. He's definitely less useful than Otto.
Is
Porter.
Damian big? Is he big enough to land that punch?
I think he's big enough. Yeah.
Okay.
But also, I'll agree with the shooting. The Suns were one of the lowest attempt 3-point shooting teams in the league. That just wasn't their game. They were mid-range assassins. They were taking up the spot on the floor a lot of teams don't normally shoot from. And what made them a great offense was their efficiency. And once they started turning over the ball, then the efficiency went down. The Warriors can get away with being a little less efficient, and they can get away with turning over the ball a little bit more because they shoot threes at a higher volume than the Suns, and they make more threes in general.
They also live or die by that 3.
This is also true.
Fed Fan also says Klay Thompson is getting hot, very hot. All right, so now is that you just hitting on Klay Thompson, or are you talking about his shooting?
I think she means both.
She says as long as they're making threes, they don't care if they turn that ball over. So there you go. Fed Fan, the Warriors fan, has had her say. Let's give you guys your say as well. Let's come back and do some more. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brett Musburger's Action Update. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now. Here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The Heat took game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals 118-107 over the Celtics. Tonight it's game 1 of the West. The Mavericks a 5-point underdog at the Warriors. The over-under at 214.5. NHL game 1 of the East second round. The Hurricanes a -170 favorite at home against the Rangers at +145, 5.5 the total. Later the Oilers +135 at the Flames, -155, a total of 6 in game 1 in the West. PGA Championship underway from Tulsa tomorrow. Scotty Scheffler and John Rahm each had 11-1 odds, followed by Rory McIlroy and Justin Thomas at 14-1, Colin Morikawa at 16-1. For vsin.com, I'm Trey Westerberg on Arizona's sports betting station.
Hi, this is Nick LaCapria with the Daily Sports Quiz. The Dallas Cowboys have become an American favorite in football, but it wasn't always that way. The Cowboys lost every single game in their first NFL season. Do you know what team the Cowboys defeated to win their very first game?
Nick LaCapria's Daily Sports Quiz brings you a different question from the world of sports each day. If you want even more questions from the world of sports, visit Nick LaCapria's new website, sportstrivia.org. You can test your sports trivia knowledge and get answers to some great questions from the world of sports trivia. Sportstrivia.org. It's free, it's fun, and it's challenging. If you like the Daily Sports Quiz, quiz you'll love. SportsTrivia.org.
The answer to today's daily sports quiz: name the team the Dallas Cowboys defeated to win their first game ever. The Pittsburgh Steelers. The Cowboys are relatively new to the NFL. They broke in the 1960 season, lost every game, and then defeated the Steelers. I'm Nick LaCapria with your daily sports quiz.
I'm an Arizona truck driver. I deliver food, medicine, supplies, and hope.
And during times of crisis, I support our communities. But every day I see people putting lives and families at risk.
Distracted driving is deadly, period. Be aware, be safe, and visit sharetheroadaz.com and find tips on how to drive safely around trucks.
This message is sponsored by the Arizona Trucking Association Foundation.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
You can hear the grunts of pain. You can smell the workout sweat. You can feel the muscles straining. And even if you can't, we can.
And that's all that really matters.
NFL training camp.
Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. Here we go.
It fills the senses.
Well, everyone's but yours.
Get the latest info, insights, and breaking news here.
Respect what it is we're doing here.
On your home for the NFL, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Welcome back to the Daily Blender on this Wednesday, hump day, as we head over the hump and head for the weekend. Going to be kind of nice out there this weekend, talking about weather-wise. Miss Kim was telling me down to the low 90s on Sunday. I might have to do some smoking out there. I don't know. But NBA playoffs are heating up. We were just talking about it. You can make every game feel like Game 7. Well, unless you're a Suns fan, Game 7 wasn't so.
Why would they bring this up?
On the FanDuel Sportsbook app, an official part of the NBA, throughout the playoffs, all customers can place a no-sweat same-game parlay each week, just like I just did on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. I got an odds boost on Luka Doncic, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson, each making more than 3.3 three-pointers in the game tonight. So Luka, Steph, and Klay, each one of them hitting more than three-pointers. That's what I just did. You can place your same game parlay. It's easy to do. Just log on to the FanDuel Sportsbook app. You'll get up to $20 in free bets if you don't win. FanDuel's got so many ways to play. Best of all, when you do win, you get paid really fast, faster than an NBA fast break. If you're new to FanDuel, just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and you'll sign up, and it's really tremendously easy. I did it in about, 90 seconds. I was placing my first bet on the same day that I downloaded it. That's how easy it is. Use my promo code Randy1580 because you'll have more fun with my promo code. It's much more lucky. It's laboratory proven.
You are not kidding. Promo code Randy1580. It has been proven to be way more fun than any other promo code out there. In fact, I'm not going to say which one. One of them will actually make you cry. It's very uncomfortable if you use that promo code. Using promo code Randy1580, it will give you a joyous sense of accomplishment.
Absolutely.
It's like you just went to a surprise party for you.
Oh, absolutely. And you're eating lots of your favorite birthday cake.
The joy.
Randy 1580, the laboratory proven and approved promo code for you. Get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Once again, Randy 1580, approved by everyone who likes betting.
It's
and if you already have an account, you're already set to bet. No sweat. Either way, you get up to $20 in free bets if your same game parlay during the playoffs does not win. FanDuel Sportsbook, an official partner of the NBA. You got to be 21 or older, present in Arizona. You got to have your refund issued as a non-withdrawable free bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max free bet $20 per week. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. Jeff, go.
All right. Thank you, Randy. So now people are on the text line making their predictions for tonight's game. Golden State Warriors hosting the Dallas Mavericks, game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. Sounds strange to say, doesn't it?
Yep.
All right. Let's I got to scroll down. There's a lot here. Let's see. Santa's number one helper says, screw the Lakers and the Clippers at all costs. Warriors I can support. Exactly. You're exactly right.
There you go.
Lost Toby says Otto Porter gives way better minutes than JTA or anyone. Yeah, Keon's sobriety concerns me. No, to be fair, you also had that foot injury on Otto, so you don't know for sure, if he could play or just punch again in the face.
Well,
see what I'm saying?
If you talk about Warriors that you need to win, you don't need Otto Porter to win. That's why I chose Otto Porter.
Yeah.
No, I mean, no, he's
sort of like Robert Ory back in the day.
He's Robert Ory made some big shots, but Otto played for the Wizards. We drafted
especially that shot he took on Steve Nash.
Lost Toby says, according to Patrick Beverly, CP3 learned to play defense from Keon Rose. Hamilton Porter says, what separates the Warriors from the Suns is the Warriors have been to and won more titles this decade than the Suns have in their entire existence.
No, that's true.
Well, there's more things that you're just being mean now.
Yeah.
Booger Wolf says, Keon is the Jimmy Butler of the WNBA. And Luca is
I don't know what that means.
I don't know
what an extremely good radio broadcaster.
Jimmy freaking Butler. Why not?
Yeah. Why not?
Take it, Keon.
Sure.
He says Luca is the white version of Luke Longley. Those guys got lucky. Suns beat themselves. We'll be back next year. Hefty Lefty says Warriors have won 14 of their last 15 games at home. I see this starting a lot like Suns and Mavericks game 1. Baker's Cocky Hymns says, okay, Jason Kidd was a better player and a better coach than Kerr. Game 1 should go this way. Clay, Curry, or Green will hurt themselves at some point there. Curry turns it over a ton. He's not a great pass as advertised. Curry, Green, and Poole all over 2.5 turnovers per game in postseason. Dallas is the best defensive team against the 3 this postseason and the best against point guards, and they will shut Mitchell. He says they shut down Mitchell and Paul. That was a lot from Baker's Cocky Hens right there.
I mean, at this point in his career, who could not shut down CP3? Please. I don't think that's an accomplishment.
Yeah, and shutting the best defensive team against the 3. The Suns were 29th in 3-point attempts this year, and then they played the Jazz, who are a volume shooting team with 1 shooter. That's not the proof that the Mavs are this dominant. We take away the 3-point shot. They have not faced a team with this many 3-point shooters on it this entire postseason run.
Yeah, that's gonna give them fits.
Good luck with this. And the only way that prediction works is if somebody gets injured, I'm not going to predict an injury because who can predict that?
And it doesn't mean the Warriors are the better team. It means they're the team that is put together in a way that's going to be advantageous to beating these Dallas Mavericks. If the Phoenix Suns and the Warriors had played, it'd be a completely different situation. So I don't know if I'd say that the Warriors are better than the Suns. They're just better able to beat this team.
So is Keon, did Jason Kidd win a world championship? Did he win a Larry O'Brien?
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
with what team?
With Dallas, actually.
Yeah, with Dallas. And how many did he win? He won what?
One.
One? Hey, he won one.
The one with
Dirk. And being a better player, you would think he would have won more. How many did remind me again, how many did Steve Kerr win? With the,
more than a couple, huh?
It was a Chicago team, wasn't it?
It was
couple, more than a
he
couple.
won a few. I will say that, if you had to pick one historically, which guy would you take? I would take Jason Kidd.
Well, I wouldn't. Steve Kerr learned quite a bit under his tenure with the Chicago Bulls from one Phil Jackson.
But I'm not. But
I'm not going to take a wife
way,
beater. So.
I just kind of flew over that. I kind of ignored it a little bit because who the better player was is different from who the better coach is, and I think Steve Kerr's the better coach.
5 rings on his hand. Yeah, Steve Kerr.
Steve Kerr's got more than that because as a player, didn't he win?
He won 5 NBA championships. He was an NBA 3-point winner. Second team All-American, third team All-American, second team back in the Pac-10, and all the way around. So as a coach, As a coach, 3 times he has won. So now I guess he's got 8 rings.
Yeah.
He was NBA Coach of the Year in 2016. He's been an all-star head coach. He's one of the top 15 coaches in NBA history, points and all that stuff. So, yeah. Steve Kerr, I think, has had a better life. You know,
isn't he also from the U of A, though?
You know what? Jason Kidd, all day, every day. Go with Jason Kidd. Billy Ray from Avondale says, my gut feeling on the Ayton fiasco is that they're frustrated and tried to use Ayton as a scapegoat. But when you're shooting around 60% from the field, but you're shooting only 10 times a game, that's bad coaching.
Yeah.
DeAndre just stood up for himself finally, but he did it in front of a national audience. Listen, this is a very immature bunch of kids, you know, playing for the Phoenix Suns outside of, say, Chris Paul, right? And doesn't mean Ayton was wrong. It just, you know, and listen, you know, if he's not getting the ball, and then here's the thing, maybe they weren't giving Ayton the ball because he's so timid with it. Instead of going in there and finding that basket and making it a dominant move, he just does a little finesse thing like,
But he was making most of those shots. And to me, the points.
I hated the way he shot that.
And I understand what you're saying, but the points are what matters. And he was getting the points.
Yeah.
And
they should have used him more.
Yeah. I understand that you'd love for him to just yam on somebody and just remind him, hey, I'm the guy that's 7 feet tall here. Like that would be nice.
But if DeAndre misses a few because sometimes he would miss a couple in a row, you start thinking about giving him that ball less, especially when you're starting to get down in points, right?
You would think about it, but I mean, at the point where like Chris Paul and Devin Booker start off 0 for 11, what could it hurt for the guy that's the closest to the basket to be the one taking the shot?
You're right, because he was the first one of 3 to make some points. I'm not going to say shot because he just sort of rolled it in there. Berg says Mavs not only win, but Lucas scores under 25 in the win. Mavs will win outright. Fifth letter says, I'd say screw the Suns, but they tend to screw themselves.
It's true.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Cardinal Art says Warriors in 5, no more than 6, Suns in 9 next year. Thank you, Cardinal Art. Dick Whiskers says, afternoon, fellas. Hypothetical question for you. Who would you rather have in a Suns trade? Damian Lillard or LeBron James? Dame.
I mean, he's in his prime right now.
Oh, come on, Randy.
Yeah. And you want LeBron?
Look, I love Damian Lillard. I love him, but boy, he's had a pretty checkered injury past here just recently, hasn't he?
I mean, recently, but part of it is he has to go out. He has to be everything for the Portland Trailblazers, especially after they traded away CJ.
Yeah,
There's nothing there.
Yeah.
There's nothing there. I'm interested in what they're going to do because he was at the draft lottery representing the Blazers, which means they're not trading him. You're keeping the guy.
He's the face of the franchise. Yeah.
Let's talk about the draft lottery for a moment, in case you care. And even if you don't, the Magic got the number 1 pick, followed by the Thunder, the Rockets, the Kings, the Pistons, the Pacers, the Trailblazers, the Pelicans got one because of the Lakers, Spurs, Wizards. Hey, you got a guy there. You got a pick.
Yeah, they were actually projected to pick 10th, so they didn't move anywhere. I was hoping the bounce of the ball would give us a higher pick, but yeah.
Then you got the Knicks, the Thunder, because of the Clippers, and the Hornets and the Cavaliers. And that's how come there's only 14 teams in the lottery? Because they just line up everybody else by the way things happen in the playoffs?
Yeah, if you miss the playoffs, those are the lottery teams.
Okay,
basically.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like not many teams. I got a feeling like maybe too many teams make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? It kind of bothers me a little bit. So where were the Suns picking all that? Like, it's not looking good for them, is it?
I mean, well, the Suns actually traded away their pick. So the Thunder.
For who?
I think it was involved in the Chris Paul trade.
Is it too late to change them?
It is.
No, I'm just
it very much is. Yeah.
All right. So what are your thoughts on the way this thing is shaping up there, Keon? Magic getting that number 1 pick, and your Wizards have a 10. The Suns are, they're so far away it doesn't matter because it'll be second round for them or something. So what are you looking at here?
This is actually a really, really good draft. I don't know if this is as high a ceiling draft as we've had before, but in terms of how deep the draft is, like you can definitely find guys at 18, 19, 20 who are going to be contributing to teams in a couple of years.
What about franchise centers? I'm asking for a friend. Deep in the draft.
deep in the draft. Oh boy. I don't know if you're going to find anybody second
roundish.
Maybe the kid from Arizona, Christian Coloco.
Not another one.
No more.
No. Well, look, they're not the same guy.
No.
He's a great player. And he's going to be there in a second.
So was DeAndre.
Yeah, I told us about him too.
He was, though.
Generational player, we heard.
Well, okay, no one said. I don't know if anybody called DeAndre Ayton a generational player.
Oh,
but
yeah, there was a guy.
Okay,
there was a guy.
That guy shouldn't have said that.
He's a huge U of A fan. He's on the Twitterverse right now telling everybody to quit saying to get rid of DeAndre Ayton. He's a generational player. He was doing it today.
He was doing it today.
You still follow that guy?
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
I've blocked so many.
Maybe you blocked that guy.
Sorry.
But Christian Coloco would be a guy. I forget the dude's name. He's from France. But he's a big.
Does he have ants in his pants?
I
hate myself. Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh, good idea, Blissful Hayes. Suns should draft Kofi Cockburn. Oh,
yeah.
Cockburn.
There you go.
I don't think they can.
We should get Cockburn.
Where's Kofi going?
Hey, where's he going?
I don't know. To the store?
You really think he's going to go that high in the draft with a name like that?
Do I think he's going to go that high? Yeah.
if you're looking at your draft sheet and you're like, all right, here's this guy. Here's that guy. Cockburn. Jesus Christ. No, I think we're going to pass on that. Just out of instinct. That's self-preservation, man. Nobody wants Cockburn.
I mean, that's true. I mean, how do you tell everybody, hey, we did a great thing in the draft? What did you get? Well, I got Cockburn. That's going to be.
You didn't change that name. I think he changed that name.
I think he's trying to get around it with the pronunciation. It's pronounced Coburn.
You keep saying that, but that's not what I've heard. Ookla says Steve Kerr is an asshat. Luke Walton only lost one game with that team, and where is he now without that talent? Okay, well, I don't know, or maybe I don't care what you're saying.
Yeah, look, you have to have great talent to win. So that
and with great talent comes great responsibility. Okay,
but Mark Jackson had that same team, and they weren't doing anything until Steve Kerr got there. And if you don't give him credit for that, what can you give him credit for?
Not much.
Isn't Mark Jackson Phil Jackson's like cousin?
No.
I think he is.
They're not related.
You need to look it up. Baker's Cocky Hen says Ayton's always been called passive, which is his only weakness. Yeah, and that's that. I hate that. You know, here's the thing. It's hard because you see him in that face. He's a good guy. I like him. He's immature, but he's a good guy. I got nothing against him. But all the things that I was saying about him for the longest time, have they not been absolutely true? I mean, yes, he's getting the stats. Yes, you're right, Keon. He was. He only had 10 times that he tried to shoot a ball. So of course his percentage is going to be high, but the lack of aggressiveness has been the thing that has hurt him the most, because if they're not passing you the ball, and listen, those other guys are wrong because they should have been passing the ball. But if they get the perception, if I give it to DeAndre, he's just going to kind of limp it toward the basket, and we're going to lose this thing in transition.
It's just, if you look at the guy and the guy's got 10 of 12, he's clearly scoring the basketball.
It's the eye test when you're on the court. You're like, okay, who am I going to go to? Well, that guy didn't get it done. Let's go over here. And maybe those guys are jerks. Maybe they didn't.
And then, in which case, it's up to Monty to say, hey, let's go to our big. But it just seems like that wasn't the priority.
They wouldn't have that thought process if when they got that ball to him underneath, he was aggressive with it and making things happen. Or maybe they were just jerks. I don't know. I don't know. We're going to find out here in the next few months. I bet that things will be leaked. Stories will be told. All right, we got to take a break. We come back. We have On This Date in Big Georgia sports history. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears Radio Hour. In the show, we try to teach the tools, rules, and strategies that traders and investors need to do better with their wealth and portfolio income. But most of the time, an hour is just not long enough. At Online Trading Academy, we believe that the average person should be given the tools, rules, and strategies that Wall Street's elites have been using for years to outperform others. Are you one of the millions that have recently established a trading account? Or have you always wanted to trade or take a more active role in guarding and growing your own wealth, but have not had the know-how or confidence? we want to invite you out to a complimentary 3-hour power trading and investing workshop where you'll learn what it is that the professionals use to limit their risks and maximize their possible gains in both trading and investing. To register, call 8448-TRADER. That's 844-887-2337, or text the word stocks to 25029. Again, that's stocks to 25029. Reserve your seat now.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
There's no doubt that Harmon Solar can save you up to 85% on your monthly electric bill. That's a fact. Bruce Jacobs here. But did you know it's possible to get solar for zero down and no payments for 12 months? You can lease, finance, or even purchase outright. They have plans that fit everybody. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
Hello, Discover here to explain our cash back match. Here's how it works. We give you cash back for using your Discover card on the things you were going to buy anyway. Then we match that cash back in your first year. And that's why we call it cash back match. Now to recap and say cash back one more time. We match all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year automatically. Discover, exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply.
Business people like it straight and to the point. So here it is. Bruce Jacobs here to tell you take control of your utility expenses by calling Harmon Solar right now. They can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Level your energy costs, protect yourself from inflation. How's that for straight and to the point? Here's more. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
Now you can be the guy who eventually gets bits and pieces of NFL news.
Or you can get the whole story when it breaks.
The NFL is always in season here. We're 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Home for the NFL.
So Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. You something wrong with the air quality today?
Oh, it's horrible.
Horrible. Yeah, my eyes are burning.
Yeah.
I just walked out there and yelled downstairs and says, "Honey, are you cutting onions down there?"
Boy, air quality is it's horrible. Especially this time of year. You get some wind going, and then you have a day like this, and oh dear God, the air quality is just miserable.
Yeah, I don't know why it pissed her off though. I asked her, like, "Hey, are you cutting onions down there?" And she's like, "What? I'm not cutting onions." She started getting mad at me, and I have no idea why. I don't know why that's a question that would elicit an angry response. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm not mad about it. If you want to cut onions, you can have some onions." She says, she says, "I know you don't like onions." I'm like, "Well, that doesn't mean you can't have onions." I thought it was a fair question, but it really aggravated her.
Yeah. Sorry about that, bud.
No idea what just happened. I have no idea.
Sounds like a Spanish woman just got mad at you.
Yeah, a little bit. 888-368-1580. Dodger Danny. You know what? We really don't want to talk to you right now. Yeah, we know why you're here. And so I'm going to say we like you, Dodger Danny, but I'm not reading your text because we're not going there. Boogie says Suns might be able to pick up Jalen Williams in the second round from Arkansas.
He's a good player. I really liked him.
All right. Is he a big guy? Mm-hmm. I mean, big guy. Not like they're all basketball players. They're all big guys.
Right. But we're talking about big guy. We're talking about centers.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Good thinking, Boogie. Thanks. Blissful Hayes says, yeah, the Suns should draft Kofi Cockburn. Big George says, Keon, there's one thing you need to know. We do not want any Arizona frauds on our local sports teams.
Look, everybody's got to go to school somewhere. They go to Arizona. You should be doing, patting yourself on the back for doing them a favor, for freeing them from that place. So
listen, DeAndre Ayton made a damn good living at University of Arizona playing basketball. Don't take that away from him.
Yeah. If you can make the money down there.
Dodger Danny says, that's okay. You're still my favorite. Baker's Cocky Hens says, Ayton's always been called passive, which is his only weakness. And he says, ignore me. Well, just today, not forever. Why would you text all this stuff in and then say, ignore me?
What was DeAndre Ayton's strengths in college? He was a shooter, right? He was not a power center. He was not a slam dunk guy. He was a finesse shooter, was he not?
He wasn't even really a shooter. I mean, he's added the shot recently, actually. But he wasn't a power guy, but he was always able to operate around the basket, operate around the post.
But he was a finesse guy, right? He was not this behemoth underneath the,
He wasn't an explosive athlete. It even said that in the scouting report when he got drafted. He's not an explosive above the rim kind of guy.
I'm thinking about potatoes again.
Potatoes?
Exploding potatoes?
Exploding potatoes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, no, he wasn't that guy before. And I think the Suns knew what they were getting when they drafted him.
Well, then why didn't they utilize him as a shooter? Why didn't they pass the ball to him more? Why didn't they make him a part of the offense more?
Your guess is as good as mine. I think maybe it's because they wanted to center the offense more around Devin Booker and what he did. And this is right now in the NBA a guard's game. I think it's a failure to adjust on the part of the Suns.
Well, why if you're in the NBA and it's a guard's game, quote unquote, you have to follow the crowd? Why not be different and swim upstream and try something different?
And they were already being different by not shooting a ton of threes. Like, why not just go all the way? I'm agreeing with you, by the way. Why not go all the way in we're playing our own brand of basketball. We've got a dude who's 7 feet tall, finishes with both hands flawlessly. And seemingly, as long as he's not double teamed, he can score on anybody. I don't know why it's only, 10, 11 touches a game.
Do you guys know how to starch a collar? Look at this.
Excuse me.
I'm a little annoyed with my shirt right now. My collar should look like this, but it's been like doing like that, and that's bugging me. How do you guys know how to fix it?
Is it one of those shirts that has like the little collar piece in there that kind of keeps the collar straight?
Maybe that's what I need. Because here's the thing, Keon, you don't understand. I hate the 70s. I hated the 70s. The fashion in the 70s was so bad. But this is now this is a 70s collar, and this is a today collar. 70s today. And I want to keep that from turning into that. I just wonder if anybody knew how to fix that. I don't want to ask my wife anything right now. She's mad at me because I asked about if somebody was cutting onions. So what do I do? You saying I got to get a wire thing in there?
It's not a wire. It's like a little plastic thing.
Yeah, a little plastic thing that goes inside.
There's actually a slot in the collar, some of them, where you can put that in there and it'll keep the collar straight.
Oh, I think it might be missing.
Here's what I do.
They don't all come with them sometimes.
I just wear T-shirts.
How's that for a look? How's that?
Nice.
Top-collared dress shirt.
That's a nobody's. That's badass right there.
Nobody's doing that. I just started a new trend. This is
no one's doing that now.
No, I am doing it. I'm doing it in the office, and soon everyone will be doing this. Look at this.
Pop collars were, when I was in high school, the pop collars were a thing.
Oh, I was like, Jensen, I need that report. Jensen will stare at me like, okay. Because you won't know what to say to this, will you? How's this me driving down the road?
They also didn't they have their collars up like that when they were in the 1600s, the old shirts, and you'd have the high collar that would go up to your ears for whatever reason.
Can you imagine an elevator door opens? Well, what the hell's that?
Why is that guy staring at me like that?
Nice pair of khakis. And
why is his collar popped up?
It's a nice shirt until you get to his collar. Why won't he put it down?
I think I've just started a really good trend here. That
could be.
Van Heusen is going to, they're going to pay me money. That's all I'm saying. Right there. It's time. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1962, Al Order of the Queens, New York, became the first person in history to throw the discus 200 feet with a heave of 200 feet 5 inches at a meet in Los Angeles, California. Order would go to win a discus gold medal at 4 straight Olympics 1964 in Tokyo, 68 in Mexico, and 72 in Munich, and 76 in Montreal. Back to me, Jeffrey. You know, this does have a tragic end, the story.
The discus?
Yeah. He threw a Frisbee for his dog, and the dog didn't make it.
That's too sad.
He was chasing it, and he died of starvation. That was a hell of a throw.
Yeah.
It's not fair to Buttons what Al Order did to him. Oh, sure. Whole lot of fun when Aaron Rodgers throws a racquetball and the dog's like, screw you, get it yourself. And he throws it 3 neighborhoods over. But Al Order's dog, Buttons, faithful companion,
steadfast,
did no wrong to no man, no beast.
Yep.
You threw that Frisbee. Ha 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 ha. Wasn't right what Al Order did. He should be stripped of all his medals, and we should never speak of him again.
Well, it's a bit heavy, isn't it? I mean,
never again.
He didn't mean to do
never again.
Take his Olympic gold medals
away. Funny what he did to Buttons. Buttons kept running. He's like, I'm gonna get that Frisbee. I'm gonna get that Frisbee. Oh, I'm kind of hungry. No, but I gotta get that Frisbee. I gotta go. And days later, Buttons was dead. It's not right.
Well,
I'm never mentioning him again, George.
Well,
never again.
Big George, look what you've done. Wow.
Sorry to bring everybody down. George, come on. Do better, George. Do better. Happy Lefty says it's called collar stay, and almost all button-down shirts have them unless they got button collars. I was thinking about putting the button on the collar. I don't know. He says, check your laundry room. They're notorious for falling out in the dryer.
Collar stay.
Yeah, the little thing that's supposed to go in there.
You slide in there, keeps the collar, keeps it straight.
I don't think I got one. No, I don't.
We have the most interesting listening audience. So we got people out there.
I didn't know it had a name, by the way, but
chefs. We got people out there that are, police officers. We've got people out there that are, apparently laundry experts.
My wife just came up here, opened the door, and my dog has the zoomies. And he came running on up to me, and he's done it like 9 times, and every time it's terrifying.
I thought that Alex came upstairs after the berating you gave her on live radio. She was going to throw
she can't
cooking knives at you.
Don't even try. She can't hear you.
Oh, I think she can.
She can't hear you.
I think she listens to the show.
Well, no, she does, but she's not right. Fed Fan says,
I think she's going to throw knives at you.
Wow.
If I'm you, I'm finding a safe place.
Yeah, she's just brushing her teeth. I think I'm good. Fed Fan says, wow, got dark quickly. Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah. It happens on this show.
Yeah, from time to time.
Big George says, as a retired athlete, Order became an abstract painter. He enjoyed the freedom of abstract art and thus decided against formal schooling for his art as he thought it might stifle his creativity. I just got to know, George, did he paint the dog? Did he paint the dog? Because that just... The least he could do is paint a portrait of the dog.
Did he do maybe a plaster of Paris of the dog? Like a plaster of Paris, dog memorial.
This is just really depressing, George. Please stop. Please don't do this to us. We're dog lovers. We're dog lovers. Okay.
Yeah. Buttons, poor Buttons.
Can we spin the wheel of sports so we can change the subject, please? Can we just do that? I don't want to ruin my first pop collar and dress shirt day with sadness.
I can see that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, crap.
Uh-oh.
Why is this even on the wheel of sports? The USFL? Is that a sport?
I mean,
you just give me the stuff and I tape it on the board and then I spin it and that's what happens.
I think that one snuck in. The story is the USFL's Tampa Bay Bandits. It turns out on the sideline, you know how they have the turnover chain in Miami? So you get a turnover, you wear the chain, and you get to dance around. Well, Tampa Bay Bandits have a turnover whip.
A what?
No. No.
What?
Right. It just...
No.
What the hell?
Seems like a bad idea.
I understand the thought process of somebody who clearly wasn't thinking when they came up with it. Oh, I'm a whip. A bandit. Yeah. Might have...
A bandit
a turnover whip,
but
very nice.
But
Yeah.
I imagine if you are black and playing in the USFL, turnover whip is not a celebration of.
I didn't even go that direction.
No, you didn't. Because
I didn't even go that direction. I'm sorry. Wow, I didn't even think about that.
In the South.
Wow.
It's just yeah. Just tone deaf is really what that is. That is truly.
Pardon me.
They need to get rid of that. I mean,
I'm willing to bet.
No, I'm talking about the USFL. They need to get rid
get rid of the whole thing.
Yeah, let's just stop.
I don't even think this was the straw that broke it, to be honest. But that is a good enough reason for me. Just think. A second.
We need to say more about this, do we?
No.
All you had to do was ask the players. They would have told you.
Well, did the players come up with it? Surely the coaching staff did not come up with this.
I don't know who came up with it, but it's not a good look. Somebody should know better. Well, now we don't have time. Dang. All right. Well, I guess we'll save this. I know. Well, we lose track of time. That's what happens on this show. Well, I'm going to go downstairs. Going to eat me some spaghetti, and I'm going to watch me some Warriors versus the Luka Doncic. And you know what I'm hoping for? What are you supposed to hope for? That the team that beat you wins it all, so you're justified in losing to them, or that the next team beats them so that they just suffer?
Depends on how I feel about you by the time the series is done. And I don't like Dallas very much right now.
Yeah, we want them to suffer. We want no success for them. So, okay, it's good. How you feel about them? That's. Don't you always feel bad about the guys that beat you though?
If they're classy in how they do it, But not this time.
Go Warriors! It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Hello, Discover here to explain our cash back match. Here's how it works. We give you cash back for using your Discover card on the things you were going to buy anyway. Then we match that cash back in your first year. And that's why we